you feel good on the vibe all night. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sip that double key. Coming on the late show. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling right. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy and unwind. With tunes that you demand. T with Pizza Spot. The best in podcast land. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sip that double key. Coming on the late show. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling right. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy and unwind. With tunes that you demand. T with Pizza Spot. The best in podcast land. Welcome back, listeners, to our cozy nook. Where the beats go like pages in a favorite book. Settling, feel the rhythm in every hook. Tonight's the night, let's dance and cook. You have a great time, make yourself at home. In this rhythmic zone, where the melodies from. See with peace the legs out, where the music keeps you warm. Join the jam, find your peace in the storm. Welcome to the groove, it's T with me tonight. Feel the reggae flow, let it make the world right. Come and find your comfort, you meet the other strike. With every track we spin, you take you to new heights. It's our place to chill, with rhythm that's in chance. Join us the moment, let's give you all the chance. Turn up the sweet serenades, let the music down. Open up in my brain time, I swear on in that chair. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sip that double key. Coming on the late show. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling right. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy and unwind. With tunes that you demand. T with Pizza Spot. The best in podcast land. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sip that double key. Coming on the late show. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling right. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy and unwind. With tunes that you demand. T with Pizza Spot. The best in podcast land. Hey, good night, folks. It's time to unwind. Think favorite tracks. Leave your stress behind. Welcome to the show. This song was just for you. See with peace, your proof. Where dreams is getting you. Jamming on the late show. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling bright. Cause we got the vibe so grand. Get cozy and unwind. With tunes that you demand. See with peace, the spot. Leave the sweet podcast land.
In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear.
Hi, I'm Pigeons 420. Will you be an angel for an abused plant? Every day, innocent plants are abused, beaten, and neglected, and they're calling for your help. Please visit stashblend.com today and join the nation in helping abused plants get an 8-ounce bag of Stash Blend. That's just $27.70 or 96 cents per day. You'll be helping rescue plants from their abusers and provide nutrition, beneficial bacteria, mycorrhizae, and love. You'll help rescue plants from their abusers. Call or join now, and you'll receive a welcome kit of a photo of a dude impacted by your decision. Order now and change a life.
I can't do it, got me so tough. And I'm gonna take you traveling the world. I'm gonna love you, babe. Cross my heart and hope to die.
Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It is Thursday night. And that means it is time for a little tea with P, where the T is beer and the P is me, baby. Thank you for joining me on a beautiful Thursday evening. Hope you guys are all well. Hope you guys are warm. Kicking it fly today, baby, because, well, it's time to talk about all things nudes, culture, science, health, you name it, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing, absolutely nothing is off the table. Nothing. Gosh, it is so good to see all of you, my friends. Good to see all of you. Thank you for pulling up. Look at all the green names in the chat. Robert Barron, good to see you, my friend. These are the members of the channel. I appreciate you. Curly Green, what's going on, man? Trent is here too, man. Trent, good to see you. Sean, what you doing, boy? We got Wisconsin in the house too. Wisconsin, good to see you, brother. East Coast grower, dude. How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. On a Roll is here too with the wrench, brother. Good to see you, On a Roll. Always a pleasure. High Plains Bud. Cheers to you, my friend. Cheers to you. LJ, good to see you, friend. Seeker, hello, sir. Tazarello Gaming is here, friend. Tazarello Gaming, good to see you, my friend. And Reginald is here, the hardest guy to at in the chat. My guy. Good to see you. Good to see you. Manny Fresh, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Long time. Mr. CLTV, good to see you, Brusha. Good to see you, Brusha. Chad, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Pulling on up. Mrs. P, little raffle copter now that I think about it.
Yes.
I just thought about it. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fantastic. You'd almost think we didn't talk to each other
Been a
before
day.
this show.
You know what? I feel like we didn't really talk to each other a whole lot today.
No, actually today was quite busy of a day today. Had lots to get done. Meetings with the boys, got some recording done for FTS, and it was a banger of a day. Got some tons of meetings done, and yeah, I'm glad to be here with you guys and to get some things done. Motivated by Terps. Good to see you, friend. Good to see you. And Golden Mayhem. Good to see you as well, my friend. Good to see you guys, man. We got a hell of a show in store for you today, friends. We got lots to discuss. Everything from my most recent harvest to it seems like we've got some craziness happening in California, ladies and gentlemen. I refer to that as the biggest outdoor cannabis farm is raided by ICE. And it turns out, well, they might have found something a little more than mids. Turns out there was some illegals and some children working at that outfit. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be diving into some changes in regards to fentanyl laws too, which is kind of strange that of all things gets highlighted, and changes to high times as well. So we're going to be jumping into all that and so much more, plus my favorite things that I've seen on the internet this week, because the internet is a wild place, and why not just kind of dive right into it. And speaking of recent harvest, as a matter of fact, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'm going to be smoking on Pheno number 3 of the FTS Crossed with Swank Genetics collab. So we're going to be token on that out of a nice, fresh, clean piece. So we'll get all that and so much more coming up throughout the show. And on top of that all, we sit down tonight with Jake from Romulan Genetics. That is going to be an incredible conversation. Romulan Genetics has been around for a minute. Romulan has been around for a minute. And Jake and the family have taken on making it giving it the best name they can, and they've done just that. So we're going to be talking to Jake from Romulan Genetics at the top of the next hour. So stay tuned for that as well. good to see everybody in the chat, man. Seriously, thanks for pulling up, man. Kurt's here too. Dro is here. Dro, good to see you, my guy. Holy Toledo, chairs, friend. Good to see you. ETGU, good to see you. That is a very familiar. I know. Is that Hetty's? It's a very familiar avatar. I've seen that name before. ETJ, is it J? ETU, 1924, they banned children labor. 2024, the children's top game is Minecraft. They children yearn for the mine. Interesting, eh? They're on to something, eh? So, good to see you guys for pulling up. I seriously appreciate you. Huge shout out to my patrons for pulling up, guys. If you didn't know, I do have a Patreon. We are dream driven and crowd funded around here. And my Patreon is a place where you can support the channel, support the show, support everything we got growing on over here. And you can also benefit from a ton of perks. Everything from live grow classes, which we're actually wrapping up this current session of class. And we will be starting another session of grow classes. If that's something you are interested in, head on over to patreon.com/pigeons420 and you will not be disappointed. So, good to see you guys. Good to see you, my friends. And LJ, you looking? I see you there, man. I see you, dude. Thank you, man. Garden Quest, good to see you, friend. Let's toke her back here, friends. So, if you guys have been paying attention, I posted a grow video. Oh, wait, actually, before we get into too much, you guys are part of the notification squad. In collaboration with our good friends over at Seedsman, we are doing ourselves a giveaway. We're gonna do a giveaway. Okay. You're thinking, oh, Pigeon, I had no idea you're gonna do a giveaway. Nobody did. I told nobody about this. I only want to make sure that we are rewarding the community and those that can make it to tune in and have fun with us. And so, if you guys are in the chat, you have the opportunity to win one of 2 5-pack genetics of your choice. I'm going to caveat that with some restrictions may apply. Okay. I'm going to refer back to that little asterisk there, should there be any doubt. Some restrictions may apply, but however, we're going to give away 2 packs of 5 packs of genetics from Seedsman. So if that's something you're interested in, all you got to do is, what do you got to do, Miss P?
Since I realized I could create my own stipulations on Rafflecopter, you have to follow Seedsman's official Instagram page and Pigeons 420 official Instagram page.
Classic. It's a double bang. Oh, I almost cashed into my.
But you get 1 entry for each.
Oh, so if you don't have one.
If you're already following Pigeons, then you can follow Seedsman. If you're not following Pigeons yet, then you can follow both and you can have 2 chances to win.
And if you're already following both of us, then you've already entered. All you got to do is click the link.
Right.
Yep.
There's
just
the link.
Like that. There's the link, right like that, friends. Just like that. So if that's something you're interested in, please consider doing that. Shout out to Seedsman. We have been partnered with Seedsman for a couple months. Appreciate what they're doing over there. We think that they're partnered with some of the biggest and best names in the game, some of the most reliable breeders in the game, and I think it's safe to say that when they tell you you're getting something, you're getting what you're getting, and so that's what I appreciate over there. So shout out to the guys over at Seedsman. If you are over there checking out genetics, use promo code PIGEONS420. It'll save a few dollars off at checkout as well, and support the show. Let's have a rip, guys. Cheers to each and all of you. I appreciate you guys for pulling up. Kitchen party vibes tonight, all right? Ka-chow. Ka-chow. No Instagram for me, George says. Well, next time we're going to make it so that you just have to give an email address too. We're going to start up, we got to start up an email list. So, you know, if we ever do get deleted, we have a way of getting a hold of you guys. Okay.
I can add that. Do you want me to add that?
It's kind of, sure. It's kind of late now because some people have already applied, but. Sure.
Yeah, but for those that don't have Instagram.
Well, then they can do it again and get a 3rd point.
True.
Yeah.
Let me just figure out where I need to go to
She'll figure it out.
fix that.
She'll figure it out. Okay, good. So I just took a rip of Pheno, number 3 of the FTS Crossed with Swank collaboration. And if you guys recall at all, actually, I'm gonna I'm gonna lean back and relax a little bit if you don't mind. Excuse me as I cough right into your ear. I grew 3 phenos, and each of the phenos kind of did their own thing differently. They, number 1 pheno, I would show you photos of these phenos. However, last time I did that, I ended up getting deleted, or not deleted. My stream was removed, and I was hit with a guideline strike warning for regulated goods. So I can't show you these things. However, that's why I have another channel where over there I can show you things, which is strange, but there it is. So I posted, if you can post that link too, if you get a chance, Miss P.
Sorry for what?
For the grow video, the grow channel.
Yes.
No? I posted some shots over there of the flowers growing, and the video's doing really well. But needless to say, 3 different phenos, and this one I tried is the pheno number 3. Now, I'm just going to talk about pheno number 3 right now because this is the one that I've just sampled. The high is okay. Meh. Give it like a 6.5, maybe 7. What I don't particularly enjoy the most is well, first of all, it just came out of the Canatrol after 8 days, 4 days dry, 4 days cure. And did it come out smokable from the Canatrol after 8 days? Maybe a touch moist, maybe a bit moist still. But I guess what is your definition of smokable? That's the key. It looked like it was, or it did smoke. Okay, it did smoke. So yeah, you know what? It is smokable. Big Sexy Buds, dude. Welcome to the flock, my guy. Welcome to the flock, my guy. Thank you so much for the support, bro. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Big Sexy Bud's been around for a minute. I love that, dude. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for joining the flock, dude. Get ready for access to early content, member-only live streams. It's going to be a banger, dude. Thank you. Big Sexy Bud's been supporting the channel for a very long time, so I really appreciate that. But pheno number 3, and that's the one I'm going to talk about because that's the one I'm smoking. Oh, and then I caveated that with, I just pulled them out of the Canatrol, 8 days, smokable, yes. At its best, no, the bud. So it needs a few more days at least. So, pheno number 3, right out of the gate, for me, I noticed within, say, 2 to 3 weeks of growing, it stretched significantly more than the other 2 phenos, phenos 1 and 2. I'm a little low on that one.
Sorry, I'll fix that.
Hey, it's okay. You just leave it there and come grab her if you want. It might be the easiest way. But anyways, I knew right away that it was stretching much taller than the rest. Look at her go here. And so I thought, for my growing situation and my environment, I don't think that I'm really that excited about a plant that stretches a whole lot. Because I like something squat, I like to train, and so on and so forth. I like that tight internodal spacing. So that was the first thing that said to me, I was like, I don't really like this one. But for scientific purposes, I thought, you know what? I'm going to let her grow. Just like Elsa told us in Frosted. And I let it.
She said let it go, and it was called Frozen.
Yeah. And it's frozen?
Yeah. Not frosted.
I see now. Is this actually live? Moonbeam, this is actually live, friend. This is actually live. Thanks for joining in. So I thought, But then as I had the 3 phenos all together, I realized that I couldn't really separate any of them really from each other. But then as things started to grow, I started to manhandle the plants a little bit more here and there, and I got to get the phenos separate from each other. I started to notice that pheno 3 had a very high level of like pine and citrus in it. And I'm not a huge citrus fan. My very first harvest was Critical Hog. And Critical Hog was a very, very citrusy harvest. And from that moment forward, I knew it was the abundance of the citrus that I didn't like. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just like, you know, when you're like sleeping in bed and you keep farting, and it's like, you know, everybody can tolerate their own farts on most days, but at a certain point it becomes toxic, and you just don't like it. It's just not that you don't like it. It's just like, it's nauseating. It's like you're nauseating from your own farts, dude. That's how I felt with this citrus terps. I was like, at first tolerable, but then as it goes on and on and on, it's like, okay, it starts to, the joy starts to wear out here. Okay, now I'm like, I'm not a huge fan. Mrs. P's face right now is
That's
incredible.
quite the comparison, I
So,
must say.
so it gets annoying. That's really what I'm trying to say. You know, I thought that was my best reference, other than like using my wife as a reference. But so yeah, that's the citrus terps in a nutshell for me, or in a Dutch oven, whichever one you want to. And so from that day forward, or from that harvest forward, pretty much every time I had a sample of citrus terps, it brings me back to the oven, and it's like I'm just like, it's not that I don't like it. It's like all of a sudden my anxiety gets high that I'm just up. And it's like, I'm going to have to deal with this for a while. It just brings me, it's like a song that takes you back to a place you don't want to be. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So it's got to, and so as time went on, I was like, you know what? Maybe it's more heavy in the smell with the citrus than it's going to be in the smoke. So I was like, let her go, grow, frozen. And then today, I took it out. I gave it a good smell. I could smell the sweet on it. I gave it more of like a rhubarb smell. I don't know if you guys are familiar with rhubarb. Apparently rhubarb is something that a lot of people aren't familiar with. It's like a natural like celery, I would call it, but it's like sweet. It's not celery at all.
No.
But it grows like celery. But yeah, so needless to say, it's not that desirable for me. I don't like that one. So I'm putting all my money in Phenos 1 and 2. And of course, in true fashion, how much of that Pheno 3 did I grind up and put into a grinder? An entire grinder full. I got a whole grinder of it here, and I'm just like, oh, back to the poop sheets. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But you may as well, you got, for scientific purposes and for documentary reasons, we may as well get rid of it. Okay. All right. May as well get rid of it. And for the sake of the chat, what are you guys smoking on, man? What are you guys smoking on? As I pack this up too, I want to remind you tonight, in about 45 minutes or so, we sit down with Jake from Romulan Genetics. Yes, been around for a minute. I'm sure you've heard of the name. We're gonna sit down with him. I'm a huge fan. We're gonna be diving into all things life, genetics, and anything in between. And I think you guys are gonna love the conversation. So stay tuned for that. That's at the top of the next hour, in about the next 45 minutes, give or take. Because boy, we got a conversation to dive into after this. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be talking about the collapse of the California weed market, and perhaps the reason I know why. Dun, dun, dun. Right after this rip. Cheers, guys. Let's do it. Oh yeah. So that's not too bad. That's a good rip. I'll be honest with you, it's very smooth. It tastes good. It's the citrus. I don't like it, but just because I don't like it doesn't mean I can't tell it's good. It's a great taste. You know, if you love that citrus terp, this is going to be this would be nice for you. like an Agent Orange or something, that would be, if you enjoy an Agent Orange, then yes, this would be up your alley. Rob makes a really good point too. This is why we don't want to, we've kind of battled back and forth with ourselves eternally, and with the community a little in regards to, this is why we didn't want to put out the F1s of this genetic. It's got to be that dank that represents us, or it doesn't make the cut. Yes, this is something that we said from go, was that we want something that represents us. And if it doesn't count. It's not in there. It's not it. And Rob and I in particular have gone on the record and stated many times how we are not a fan of that citrus terp. So, because of that, it would be very tough to release a genetic that has 1/2 called Frosted Lemonade, and the Frosted Lemonade has very heavy citrusy terps. So, but don't get me wrong, the Frosted Lemonade was the male of the two. So, although, vigorous, strong, stout, it's the male, and it still has those terps. So I'm personally trying to find the fire shit out of 808 genetics, so that really represents, because the smells, we haven't even named it yet, because it has to meet the name that we came up with at the table. When we smelt it and tasted it, we were like, this is insert name that we haven't disclosed yet, and we were like, yes. But then I believe it was Rob that said, we need to make sure that when we pop these beans, the beans that people get are representative of the name we just gave it. And so that's where we were like, okay, let's dial this in, get it right. But the reality is that I see value in releasing F1 genetics, because as I told Chris, believe it or not, I also had a heavy influence on him releasing his F1s, was that if you're going to refine something so heavily to get to like an F4, why not give your community or anyone that's really willing to explore this lineage the opportunity to explore the lineage? Myself, even as a amateur grower that I am, even I would be excited to try and grow Chris's genetic before he got it to this point. It's like, okay, he took Pakistan Valley and Brisker OG and came up with Chill Out OG. Wow. Let me take Pakistan Valley and Brisker OG and see if I can come out with Wild as Fuck OG. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's what I see. Like that's why I do see value in releasing F1s, because it's like somebody wants that name, something of that chill. Let's just refer to this one, the FTS Swank Genetics. Somebody really wants that, but they don't want what we don't want. I don't want that nasty, funky, just corpse like terp. It's like, no, they want that citrus. They enjoy that rhubarb. They like that sweet meat. You know what I mean? So I get it. I do think there's value in releasing an F1 and allowing people to run with it. When it comes to testing, Chad, I think it's important too that a lot of the testing is done already too. Now, of course, in F1s, the stability is never going to be there, but I would hope that a lot of the testing happened with the test one or the F1s, so that it wasn't there'd still be some variety of not genetic stability, but sexual stability, I guess, is really what I'm trying to say, if that's even possible. Remember, I'm very novice when it comes to breeding. So talking to people like oh my gosh, the people we've gotten to talk to over the years, Todd McCormick, Vader from Ocean Grown, the opportunity to talk to Jake from Romulan Genetics, the breeders that we've talked to on the show, the list goes on. I've had the blessing to, it's like, I'm novice, but I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of people who are in the know, right? And it's exciting. It's very exciting. So, yes, needless to say, when it comes to F1s and whether you should release them or not, we wanted to really make sure we really refine the line to the point where we could give the customers precisely what it was that we were selling. But that doesn't mean, in my opinion, that we shouldn't release the ones, twos, and the threes, the F1s, twos, and threes, or F1s if we're going to do twos kind of thing, right? But we want to really make sure we get it right. Grow Mom, appreciate it. So yeah. So needless to say, my harvest went really well. Canatrol really served me well. At the end of the day, my biggest issue is the size of the Canatrol at this very point, because 3 of the plants didn't make the cut. They go in there, they're still drying in the tent. At the same point, it was made very obvious that I was not supposed to leave as much plant material on the buds, or leave the buds on as much plant material that I did in the Canatrol. So when I say it may have come out a little bit moist, and I really don't want to say it was. I want to say fresh. That's what I'm actually going to say. I'm going to say fresh, because it was smokable, and that's what it says. It's smokable by 8 days, and I'm sure, you know, a lot of people could be like, yeah, I could dry it smokable in 8 days. Not like this. I'll give it to them. It really got it to a very delightful point in 8 days. But at the end of the day, it's like it only holds 2.2 pounds wet. I left on a fair amount of plant matter on the buds, if you will, with stems and such, because I felt like I wanted it to take a slower approach, I guess. Yeah. Did you keep it in there? Yeah, it's still in there. Hey, growing at the beach. Great to see you, my friend. It'll take you a few runs to dial it in. You're totally right. And so if anyone's using it and wondering if I've got the be all to end all answer, I really don't, because I'm still learning how to use it myself. If somebody's harvesting massive plants, like somebody like Troy, my guy, Northern Scrogger, he would be hard pressed to find value in something that only held 2.2 pounds. So, yeah. Drying is such a mystery to me, right, idiot? It never happens the same. I know. So I think that's kind of the advantage of having a machine, if you will, that does it for you, really, right? Maybe. So, needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, I want to jump into the news. Canna News. All things culture, science, and health. Your one-stop shop for all things Canna News. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you guys recall, last week, I had a story. We had a story that was kind of breaking at the moment, that we were kind of talking about, but not really. If you recall, there was a story of the largest outdoor cannabis farm was the place of an ICE raid in California. There were protests outside of this farm where protesters attacked law enforcement. These are well-stated facts, by the way. There's even drone footage of one of the protesters with a firearm, or at least what appears to be a firearm. And as time and the story kind of developed, we learned that this particular farm, Glass House Farms, was employing up to 360 illegal aliens, and there were 14 minors, children, that were rescued from this operation. Again, let me state, this is the largest indoor cannabis farm in California, involved in a raid by ICE where they arrested 360 illegal workers, illegal individuals that came into the country illegally, and there were 14 children that were rescued. I don't know another way to put it. And this, to me, really started to make me think. I started to think, first of all, what is this company? Who is this company? This is Glass House Farms. This is a major actor in the California cannabis space. And in many cases, more than California. Because in fact, Glass House Farms was the next operation. I started to think, wow, does this have any link to the collapse of the California weed industry since its conception in 2018, January 1st, 2018? And I started to think, wow, what we have here is we have an operation that is massive. I believe it was 3,500. I don't want to give it. It was massive. Who is a major actor in the legal cannabis space that is using illegal workers to undercut its competition and put cheap product on the shelves. No wonder ma and pop shops don't stand a chance. No wonder companies that are trying to do it by the books, providing their employees with benefits, with proper wages, can't make it in the California weed industry. We've got a video here. Mrs. P's going to play just the first little segment of it. I'll tell you when to stop. This is from Fox News, so take it for what it's worth. But I want you to listen to what happened here in regards to who is even amongst these 300 plus arrested. There's child predators in this mix. Go ahead, Mrs. P.
So this morning, new details after more than 360 illegal migrants were arrested in that massive raid at a marijuana farm in California, including this suspect accused of child abuse and attempted rape, who was working alongside 14 minors rescued from that scene as well. ICE Deputy Director Madison Sheehan joins us now. Madison, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so not to get into sources and methods, but how did ICE and the federal agents learn about this facility with illegals there and the children as well?
Look, we have continued to go after the worst of the worst. The men and women of ICE are working actively.
Okay, this is good for now. Pause this. So I wanted to just state that there was 360 plus nabbed in the farm raid, and amongst them are predators, child predators. One thing that gets me is that it's also showing that the owner of this company donated to the Democratic political party, the Democratic Party. Why is that significant? Well, it makes it kind of clearly paints a picture of a company that was willing to pay for silence against its own actions. Let me be very clear. When somebody comes across illegally, that's one thing. And you could argue that these people are looking for a better place. They're looking for a new home. They're coming from opposition. They're coming from oppression. They're coming from a place of hatred, place of violence. Why wouldn't you come to America? Yes, I get that. Yes, there's legal ways to get here. I'm not justifying anything. Let it be very clear. I'm not justifying anything. But what I'm also trying to say is that I can almost, I'm not going to say sympathize, but understand why somebody would seek for a better life in America and why it might be difficult to seek it through the legal avenues. But for a company on American soil to knowingly hire and exploit illegal workers and children, there is a very special place for those places. That to me is such a heinous crime, because think about this. In a legal world, in a legal dispensary, in a legal farm, you have to pay your employees. You have to give them competitive wages or legal wages. You have to give them benefits. There are working rights that you have to follow. And on top of that, you have to pay taxes on all that income for employees. And then on top of all of that, you have to still grow good herb to compete in the market. Kenna Kev, thank you for the membership. On the other side of the coin, you have this company, Glasshouse Farms, that is exploiting, hiring, who knows what they were paying, if paying at all, wages. Those employees are not getting benefits, and you can almost bet your bottom dollar that the company isn't paying taxes on any of that employment. So when I read headlines online about how this company has managed to keep prices so low, I don't know, do you have it on here, Mrs. P? I was on their website. And I was searching it, and it was saying how they are pushing the limit on quality and keeping prices the lowest they've ever been. No kidding. How is any other company supposed to compete with that? Because they can't hire illegals and they can't exploit children to make their product.
I just have about Glasshouse Farms.
Yeah. So there's something in there about quality or something. Can you zoom in on that giant Tor? Yeah, there's that. Okay, yeah, he was doing questions. So this I'll go on. So this to my point is why I wanted to tie this into the collapse of the California weed industry, which inevitably, as California is one of the, if not no, is the largest cannabis industry. Thank you, LJ, with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. LJ Jones, appreciate the support, man. This company's been around since 2015. Legalization happened on January 1st of 2018 in California. This company was well established before the legal industry. I have no way of verifying when they started to hire illegals. So this company already had a head start to the legal industry. Okay, already has a head start. It was founded in 2015. Has a 3-year head start on the legal industry in California. So that gives them the one up, first of all. Second of all, as the industry is trying to establish itself, we have this company exploiting workers, able to bring product to the shelves at an extraordinary low rate, while other companies are like, how the hell am I supposed to push pounds for peanuts? So while this company over the last, 5, 6, 7 years has continued to profit and companies have collapsed, what's the collapse? It says California's legal cannabis market has hit another grim milestone. This is as of February of 2025 from SF Gate. There are now 10,828 inactive and surrendered pot licenses in the state. You can bring this on my screen, Mrs. P. And only 8,414 active ones, meaning dead pot licenses now outnumber active ones, according to the Department of Cannabis Control Data dashboard. No kidding. No kidding. Because it seems like the ones that have active licenses all of them may not be following the rules. No wonder that would lead to the collapse of a market. No wonder the craft shops that are bringing you the passion, the love, the focus, the good quality, the good weed can't do it. They simply can't do it because ma and pop can't work 24 hours all by themselves. They have to employ somebody. Somebody's probably a student, not working full time. So they have multiple employees. These employees have to be taxed. And then not to mention, imagine having a job where your employer has the ability to hold your job over your head the whole time and saying, I can deport you if you don't do your job. No employer should have that kind of power over their employees. That is wrong. It's unconstitutional. It's illegal. And above all, it's immoral, man. And it's wrong. And these are human beings that we're talking about. And in unfortunate cases, we're talking about human beings that have been arrested for some very heinous crimes, dudes. It's not like we're just hiring Sharon or I don't know. I don't want to give off names or nothing, but we're not. These guys have been charged with some of them were, I got an ad, dang it. Some of them were triple burglary. Some of them was rape. One of them was, these are very heinous crimes. And to think that they're actually getting away with this. So right here, I got it on the screen. Oh,
do you want me to put it back?
Yeah. Do you have the same video? Yeah. Right there. Yeah. You can put it on this. Yeah. Put it on yours. Yeah. So at the very beginning, just the still shot. I'm like 2 seconds in. Yeah, right there. So it says I can't even pronounce these names. Mexican illegal immigrant convicted of kidnapping, attempted rape, and attempted child. I don't want to say all these words for reason of suppress. Yeah, but it's worse. Like it's not.
I know.
It's worse. And so this one convicted of rape and DUI.
And previously deported in 2006.
Convicted of a DUI, a hit and run with property damage. And then this other one is convicted 3 times for burglary and a DUI. These are not good people, ladies and gentlemen. So why? The next question is, maybe I'm just too redneck to know and just off my rocker here and I'm just very, very in a bubble. Why the hell would anyone protest having these people taken away? I saw footage of law enforcement officers who were doing their job, having stones thrown at them and pistols pointed at them for taking these people off the street. Am I going crazy? Is the weed that I'm growing just that good? Because I'm telling you, something doesn't make sense here. And at the end of the line, it's this company, Glass House Farms, that bears the most responsibility because they're the ones that started this whole situation. Insane. And 14 children. Just incredible. So that's my opinion. Maybe I missed the mark on this one, ladies and gentlemen, and maybe this will bite me in the butt. So I want to hear from you. If you agree or disagree, hit me up, man. Hit me up. I want to have a conversation about this. I really do, because remember, I'm a Canadian, dude. I'm a Canadian, and people give me a lot of shit about that because, well, you're a Canadian talking about American shit. This is weed shit, dude. And this stuff implicates my markets up here in Canada. When you've got such an incredibly large actor exploiting the industry so heavily, this doesn't have state repercussions. This doesn't have national repercussions. This has international repercussions. And it might not be totally figured out to the extent, but I got a feeling that this is the surface of what's been scratched of the exploitation that's happening in our industry. And what's that? For legal reasons, I must stop there. I'm just kidding, ladies and gentlemen. That's my opinion, and I just I'm curious what you guys think, because you are members of this community, and you don't have to agree with me, absolutely not. But I would love to hear your opinions about these kind of things, and I'd love to hear your opinions on the hiring of illegal aliens to do work for you is one aspect of this. But then what do you think the implications are of being able to, because you can have a work base that's so affordable, how do you think the product at such a cheap rate impacts the industry? I'm really curious, guys. I'm really curious. I want to hear from you. I don't know if this is weed shit, but it happens in agriculture all the time. Oh, yeah, it's definitely weed shit. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it's Greenhouse Farms, and they're like the biggest cannabis farm. 100%. Yeah, it happens all over the world. I just don't have an agriculture news show, but I do think this kind of thing is happening at a much at a much larger scale. Could you imagine if the government, law enforcement, shut the biggest operation down in the first go? I don't know. Something leads me to believe that this isn't the largest operation, but granted, it is the largest operation. So, needless to say, that's my opinion. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear from you. You can at me at Pigeons420 over on X, Twitter at Pigeons420. You can hit me up there. I'd love to have a discussion with it. I love to have. Does your wife get mad about you nude gardening with all of the ladies in your garden? Mrs.
What
P?
ladies are in your garden?
The plants.
Oh.
Well, she cared for a second.
Only if you're like live streaming while you're doing it. If it's just you and the plant ladies, then no.
I would never live stream naked from the garden.
You do you, boo.
Naked ever. I would not do that.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes you forget that you're live streaming.
I do that all the time.
Right?
Yes.
So, as we learned last week, sometimes you're not paying attention to what you're doing in the middle of a live stream.
Yeah, it could be a little tough sometimes. Good to see everybody, man. Thank you guys for pulling up. Wanted to talk about that because, as I mentioned, that was a story that was literally unfolding last episode that I wanted to talk about. So, I didn't know it would be like this. I had no idea it was going to be so extensive. All I knew at the time was there was protests against the raid. That's all I knew. So I didn't know if there was anything that came of it or nothing at the time. So that's why I wanted to touch on that. Another story I wanted to touch on that I don't actually have pulled up that is kind of somebody might be able to make this make sense to me because it involves a little bit of everything, as most bills do. But there is a bill in regards to fentanyl that's been signed. And I'm going to need the monitor for this one because I don't have this one up. I could pull it up.
I don't have it either, do I?
It should be the
Oh,
second
I
one
do. I was just going to go hard looking for it.
Do you have? Yeah, that one. So Trump signs fentanyl criminalization bill. Go back to the title. Trump signs fentanyl criminalization bill that could also open up research on cannabis, psychedelics, and other Schedule I drugs. Kind of wanted to dive into this because when you read this, it sounds like, what? How do we have this kind of mumbo jumbo all in one bill? So I just want to get this up too so I can read it. Unless you want to try to zoom in more. I don't think I can read it.
Oops.
Yeah, there we go. And perfect. So, and bring it a little to the right, can you? Or no? No, don't worry about it.
You're asking
Don't worry
for
about
a
it.
lot.
Don't worry about it. So President Donald Trump has signed a bill into law that will permanently ban
But what I can do,
analogs of fentanyl. So analogies of fentanyl?
I can move you. There you go.
Who is that? Is that Marijuana Moment?
Yeah.
Pull this up. Shout out to my boy Jam Jam. Talking to him right before the show. And distracted me. You distracted me, guy. I'll pull this up so I can read this. There it is. Got it. So it says Trump has signed a bill into law that will permanently ban analogs of fentanyl. though it also contains provisions that would remove barriers to conducting research into the risks and benefits of cannabis, psychedelics, and other Schedule 1 drugs. The president signed the Halt All Lethal Trafficking of Fentanyl Act on Wednesday, accompanied by his yet-to-be-confirmed pick for head of the DEA, Terrence Cole. Despite the portions of the legislation that are aimed at streamlining studies and drugs advocates have voiced concerns about the primary intent to criminalize over a wider array of controlled substances. This one doesn't actually have what the bill about fentanyl had. Make it possible under Schedule M. Okay, so this bill has the component parts to make that possible, unlike our Schedule 1 on cannabis, which never allowed research or realistic... Sorry, I missed this entire subject. Here we go.
Where are you?
Under the picture. What we did in this bill, and I think is something that everybody on the floor can be proud of, is we put into the bill the capability to do extensive research by our research universities, by the International Institute of Health, and by the Food and Drug Administration. Republican Morgan Griffin said ahead of the bill's passage in the House last month. This bill has the component parts to make that possible, unlike our Schedule 1 on cannabis, which never allowed for research or realistic research and created some of the dilemmas that we have today with that substance. We fixed that with this bill. For advocates, though, the problem is with the crux of the legislation, which would classify fentanyl-related substances as Schedule 1 drugs under the Controlled Substances Act, including analogs, I think it's analogs, that haven't been proven to carry the same risks as the most well-known potent opioid. So I guess nutshell of this is that you can expect some changes to come to the Controlled Substance Act and fentanyl in particular, and possibly see the opening of research for cannabis exploration. I was going to say research again, but it really didn't quite fit. So not a bad thing, but really the part that I kind of stumbled on here is that there was a quote on here, really, that they were just trying to jam things in this bill, as they do with all bills, just so they could get the approval of the other side of the house. So expect the unexpected with this one, because it could probably have some secrets. However, one thing I did want to share, and this has to do with High Times, guys. We shared that High Times has a brand new owner, Josh Kesselman from Raw. We're really excited about that. And I've kind of been following the story in regards to the development of the team, who's going to do what. We also mentioned that they were looking for writers, and they've been looking for just people with like-minded aspirations of creating awareness around the plant to join the team. And, well, it turns out they found themselves a acting editor-in-chief, Javier Haas, or Hasse. Hesse? What do you think it is, babe?
You asked me this last time, and I feel like I butchered it, so I'm not going to say.
Cat's out of the bag. Says, cat's out of the bag. Hit me up with ideas, suggestions, or whatever you want to share. Love you all. Love this community. High Times posted, big congrats to Javier stepping up in as editor-in-chief to help rebuild High Times with 420 Interactive and Raw and Rolling, and Matt, the editor-in-chief. Spirit lives on, and we're still building with the 1,200 plus legends who answered the call. Opportunities are coming. So I think this is big. I don't really know who this individual was, so I had to just do a little look into his background, and the best way to look into somebody's background is to look at their portfolio on Twitter. And he is the CEO of El Planteo, editor-in-chief at the High Times, senior contributor for Forbes, and he's got books. He's an author, and I'm assuming that he's either worked for or in tandem with these brands. So it looks like he has the credentials, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, best of luck to him, man. Best of luck. Can't wait to see what High Times can do, because I think I kind of said this before, but I think to have High Times back in the community, I think is a huge win. I'm not sure magazines will ever come back. Now, I say that kind of wishing magazines would come back. I just don't think that day is there anymore. We're kind of seeing those trends drop. But does that mean it can't be done? No, I don't believe it. I don't believe that it can't be done. I think it can be done. Welcome to the Grow Tent. Let's go. Woo! Good to see you, brother. I do think it can be done. So I'm excited to see what the current High Times team can do, and I'm going to help do whatever I can to help spread that message as well, because that's really exciting. So cheers to that, guys. Put them in the air for Javier and the High Times team. Idiom makes a really good point. High Times is back. High Times. Vinyl is back. You're right. Yeah, vinyl's had some of the best years it's ever had since the late 60s. And so you're right. You know what? Hey, I said it. As someone who wants to see vinyl come or magazines come back, I want to see it. I don't know how that's going to happen. But I'm not the one in charge of this operation, and I'm excited to see the people that are make that happen. They've got my support, and I will certainly do what I can to help them spread that message.
I think you're going to find a lot of people looking for that nostalgia of it too, though.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I'm a book reader, and I don't mean books on tape or books on tablets. I like paperback books in my hands. I love the smell of books, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of, and maybe it'll just be our generation and older. Maybe it won't be the younger generation, but I think there is going to be a lot of people that are excited to have access to it again. So, no, it may not be a huge, overwhelming thing, but I think there will be interest.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I would probably get a subscription. I could say I was a part of the High Times revival. So yeah, I would probably be down for that. One other thing I wanted to mention before we talk to Jake from Romulan Genetics. We're going to be talking to the man himself. There was one thing I actually seen today, Mrs. P. I was outside. I was in nature, doing nature things. Yeah. And I actually seen the picture of the most beautiful bird. I caught a shot of this. Beautiful bird. In the act of pulling a worm out of the ground. And I couldn't believe such a beautiful photo. If you wouldn't mind, can you show the people what I got here?
Where?
This is the on X there, dear. The bird. I got it on my screen over here if you can't see.
Oh, I got
the beautiful bird.
Jesus.
Beautiful bird. Okay, YouTube. So on the first image, I got a couple shots here. So let's do the first image on the left, the whole image. Yes. So right here, I was just in the park, and I just happened to look over, and sure enough, there it was. And I just thought, wow, I need to get a shot of this. How often do you get to see a bird pulling a worm out of the ground in that moment? In that moment. Isn't that beautiful, Mrs. P?
That's beautiful.
I particularly enjoy the grass. I believe it's snow here we're looking at YouTube.
Very pretty. Very pretty.
Very pretty snow, YouTube. So I wanted to make sure I got that. And then on the second shot, just zoom in a little bit. You see that worm there. That worm's got some detail to it on there. Just a beautiful catch. You almost couldn't even, if I wasn't there, if I didn't catch this, you wouldn't believe me. And then actually, there it was right there. In all seriousness, I want to give a shout out to the Curator Co. over on X, the Curator Co. at the Curator Co. Me, or the Curator Co. ME. I want you guys to go over there and follow him over on X. Mrs. P, if you can share, not that picture perhaps, but the account.
I was gonna say, can't I just
You could, but I just don't want to share the post.
put? No, I'll just put the link in the.
Yeah. And that's these are his photos. I want to be very clear here as I take full credit for the majority of this story. These are his photos, and let me tell you, if you go and follow, they lost their Instagram account and they've come over to X, as so many do,
Oh my gosh.
and have some of the most beautiful photos that I just simply can't show you because I don't want to be in violation of the Regulated Goods Act or policy of YouTube.
Wow, those are okay. I'm on it right now, and those are incredible.
Yeah. It's frosted. That's right. East Coast. Yeah, East Coast knows. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That much detail for
These
a
are
photograph,
insane.
Rob. Yeah, for a photograph is insanely talented. And I'm not sure if you can see how ripped that worm is. Can you pull up again the worm?
I don't know if I can find it again.
It's at I have it in my likes, but it's pretty far down actually.
I'm just in awe of all these other ones.
Yeah, they do some pretty incredible things.
Holy crap. Okay, sorry. Let me go find the.
And I zoom into the worm.
How far down in your legs?
Mm-mm.
There we go. Jesus.
Yeah, found her. You
I found
Sorry,
her.
moment of silence.
I found her.
Yeah,
Sorry,
okay.
guys. Can I don't know if it doesn't zoom in well.
Oh, it doesn't because this is X. But okay, but you can see that, friends. You can see that how it's like
It's very
you can
detailed.
tell. Yeah, I'm from this far away and I can tell that it's like it's ripped like a it's ripped like a
It's got the segment,
Worm.
like the segments of a real worm. That's cool.
Okay, cool. Just as I'm I can't keep up with everything being said in the chat, but just remember as we are having conversations to each other, let's keep it with hate free, please. Hate free. That's all I'm asking. We can all have civil conversations. We can all back up our beliefs too. If we believe strongly in them, we can back them out without insults or without calling names or without stooping to a level of hatred. If you do want to have a conversation about these, I'm always open to these conversations. Always. So like I said, you can @ me on Twitter @pigeons420 and I will be able to get back to you. And not to mention, most of the time I will respond in this form. So it can be very difficult too when you're having a conversation with someone via text to really articulate your opinion with or without emotion. So, with that being said, we have an incredible guest lined up here, ladies and gentlemen. We have Jake from Romulan Genetics gonna be in studio. And remember, we dropped a link there just a little while ago. Make sure you just give the old tapskis there real quick. Huge shout out to Seedsman, guys. You're looking for quality genetics, hit them up. Use promo code PIGEONS420. Opportunity to take home one of 2 5-packs tonight. Some restrictions may apply. Your choice of genetics. So make sure you go ahead and hit that right there, guys. Won't be mentioning that again until the end of the interview. So, guys, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we have Jake with Romulan Genetics on deck, and I think it's about time we jump into it. What do you think? Shall we?
Ready?
Let's do it.
Come on and lift your glass. You've won your own free pass to be our guest. If you're stressed, it's fine dining we suggest. Be our guest, be our guest, be our guest.
But Jake, I've seen you around everywhere, man, and your work speaks for itself. We're going to talk about that so much more. But before we do, can you just give me a quick, who are you? What do you do? Where are you from?
My name's Jake. Middle-aged, older than I look. Most people don't know. I'm near 50.
Son of a gun.
Yeah. I'm the owner and creator of Romulan Genetics. I'm a cannabis breeder. That's about it.
Dude, very
I'm a guy
humble.
who makes seeds.
Very humble, which I can appreciate, man. That's fantastic. Pushing 50, dude. You look damn good. I wouldn't have guessed. You look older than you look.
Doing all right.
You're blessed with the nice colors in the beard, man. You got a good full looking beard. It looks good on you, man. It looks good for pushing 50.
Thanks. Yep. Yeah. My the harder days and when I was younger, I guess didn't take as much of a toll on me. I mean, physically, I'm falling apart. I tell people all the time that I'm an old man because I am. I'm getting arthritis and I'm losing my memory already. But looks wise, the cover of the book still good.
That's good. And if we, as we all know, everybody judges a book by its cover, right? So we're off to a good start. Jake, very humble dude. In my opinion, you're a stellar breeder. You've done some pretty incredible things with Romulan Genetics, both in name and in genetics. And I want to dive into all of that. The name Romulan Genetics, how do you get that for anyone that doesn't know?
So Romulan is the name of a strain or cultivar. It's basically everything that I do. My entire breeding program is Romulan is always one of the parents. So I'm just crossing things with Romulan. That's really all I'm doing here, which feels unusual after doing it for like 6 years. I can't believe I'm still doing that same thing and people still love it and enjoy it. Haven't gotten tired of it or anything like that. But yeah, that's why it's called Romulan Genetics. Romulan is the main strain that I'm breeding with. It's always either my P1 or my P2, one of the parents.
You know what? I can appreciate the fact. I like how you said it's kind of not as exciting now because it's 6 years deep and that people are still, it doesn't feel as exciting, but people are still excited. I think there's a reason for that, man. I think, it's like you're using something that's well known, using something that's consistent, both in quality and in lineage. So it's like, it makes total sense that if you figured something out, why not try to master the craft? That's actually what I can appreciate the most.
Yeah, it's good breeding stock that I have and the male that I use. I've used 2 different males over the years now. It's good breeding stock, but it always kind of passes on these medicinal qualities and benefits to go with things. So it's, for me, I mean, it's kind of everything that I do is for me first, unless someone's asked me to make something, I'm making it for me. So I'm getting all these flavors and different effects from Romulan, but I still get the process that I make, but I still get those same medicinal qualities from Romulan. I served in the Marine Corps. I've been living with PTSD for a long time. I've got a bunch of nerve damage issues throughout my body that have wreaked havoc on me over the years. And along with having like ADHD and OCD, which are side effects of high functioning autism, things that I've dealt with my whole life. Cannabis is something that helps me out, but Romulan in particular is a strain that has kind of saved my life. And so continuing to breed with it over the years it gets a little tiresome for me, a little boring a little bit on my end, but everything that I make always has those same benefits coming with it. So I'm getting a new flavor, a new effect, a new plant, but I'm still getting this help with ADHD and nerve damage and insomnia and all those other things. So it works. I'm going to start branching out soon. You'll see. Early next year, I'll have some new stuff that doesn't even have Romulan in it.
Oh, really good for you. Yeah, good for you, man. You know what? I think as you're saying this, I absolutely have a very little experience in breeding and or pheno hunting for that matter. So when it comes to having the experience of doing something consistently for 6 years like that, I honestly have no idea. So I can try and sympathize in regards to, I can see how that could become a little stagnant, a little boring, but then at the same time, I can tell that the way that you're going to keep it exciting is that you change that up, or not necessarily change that up, but you're looking for that new something that speaks, that's unique and what's been, right? So then the thought process is that you might actually find something really good because you know what is, but you're looking for what is unique. So I think that's an advantage for sure. And that's what you mean by finding that new.
Yeah, and I don't really, on this subject, I don't really know that anyone else in cannabis breeding history has ever done this. Like, I'm pretty sure there's nobody ever that's like, they only bred with sour diesel or they only bred with Trainwreck or something like that. I could be wrong. Maybe someone out there can say, oh no, there was a couple guys that did that, but I don't think anyone's ever done this before. So it always feels a little unusual to me when I sit back and try to analyze what I'm doing as far as a breeder goes. It's like, how am I still successful? And all I'm putting out is Romulan crosses. But my customers and people like it. So that's what it's really about here in the end.
Of course. Well, I love that. I love that you mentioned it. And personally, I think you're on to something, man. If I was going to do a breeding project, which I honestly have never done, so I just a whole bunch of hypotheticals. I think if I was to choose two paths between just always breeding something that's different or trying to, it's not that you can't make the same different because you said you've used two males.
Mm.
That's it. Just two males.
2 males and 1 female as far as the Romulan side of the parenting goes.
Right. Okay. That's impressive. First of all, because as someone who tries to maintain genetics, it is very difficult to maintain something for any particular period of time that's outside of a harvest period. So good for you. But using the two males and then being able to incorporate something different, or the female incorporate something different, still allows you to have some kind of exploration into what's possible. But if I had to choose a path, I would choose the one where it's like, I want to know consistency. I want to at least have a couple variables figured out while I'm doing this. And the variables, why not keep one side of it consistent? I think that's genius myself. I don't know why more people don't do that.
Yeah, and it in the past, 30 years ago, that used to kind of be a little bit more of the norm. Breeders would continue to work the same genetics. They would, work it from F1, the first filial generation, and work it to an F4 and F5, whatever. People don't really do that as much anymore, but it's also because the market is different. The customers aren't really asking for that like they used to 30 years ago. When you popped seeds 30 years ago, you kind of wanted to get what you expected to get from purchase. Over time, people have grown a little bit more. They like variety. They like a surprise. People are still making IBL, which is the filial generation when you get to the point where it's basically every seed is exactly the same, plants grow the same. People still make those to this day, frequently, but it's not something that customers ask for, and there's not a huge demand for it because at that point you're kind of like growing clones. If every seed is the same, what is really the point of growing those seeds when you could just grow one cut of the same thing and it is exactly the same? In the past, 30 years ago, clones were hard for people to get. There was a lot more legal issues and stuff like that. So having IBL and having high up filial generation, well-worked strains was the norm. Now it's not. But it's really just about what customers want. So that's why.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. It sounds like you're on an adventure, dude. You're on an adventure. And it's like, it's you started with passion. It started with passion. And then is that, it's not that it ever ends with passion, but it started with the passion of using the Romulan genetics, continuing the name because I know that it meant something to you. And that was the adventure at the time. And it's been 6 years of that. And now it sounds like you're looking for just a new chapter, a different adventure. But just take that passion and put it in a new bottle, shake it up.
A little bit. Yeah. And I've been telling people since, I don't know, probably 2020, 2021, somewhere around there that, I have a roadmap. I have a plan here. And I have back then I had a list of all these different cultivars, things that I wanted to cross with Romulan, whether it's making rig seeds or feminized seeds, crossing with the male or the female cut that I have. I wanted to kind of get through all of those, and I had this, because again, it's all, everything I'm doing, I'm making it for myself first and foremost. it's something that I want. And so I start off making that. But I had this list and I told everyone when I get through that list, my plan is to kind of stop the Romulan cross with this, Romulan cross with that breeding, and still do that, but much more sporadically, much more rarely, and start breeding with things that are selections of mine from the crosses I've made. So I've made stuff like Communion and Romscotty and Pure Crush, and there's a few other things that have been really big hits. I'll take those selections and clone cuts that I have of those and start breeding with those as the main parent. And so that's a lot of what I'm going to do. But the first kind of step out that I'm going to do, I've already started it. I'm using Pure Kush, the Topanga Canyon cut, which is an old 90s legend cut. And I'm going to cross that with some newer things, some old, but mostly some new stuff. And so that'll be the first kind of step away from, the Romulan genetics that I'm doing. You'll see stuff dropping next year for that. It'll be Pure Crush crosses or Pure Kush crosses. And then after that, you'll see me doing a lot of stuff with like my Romscotty and my Communion cuts. I'll be breeding with those. I'll make selections out of the Pure Crush that I made, which is the Pure Kush cut and Romulan. And then there'll be a bunch of other things. But basically, I'm just kind of removing the pigeonhole, no pun intended, of being Romulan genetics and only breeding with Romulan. So I'll still be doing that, so the name makes sense. But I'll be doing a lot more different stuff. I have a huge, huge clone collection, and at some point I'm going to run out of different things to breed with Romulan, and then at another point it won't make any sense to keep making all these Romulan crosses. So that's a big part of it. It's, it'll keep me interested, but I also get to start working other things, and I've got a lot of really, really good cuts, the stuff that most people don't have, and most people aren't working with. So,
yeah, good for you. Good for you. That sounds exciting. I'm kind of envious of the fact that you can even say you have a clone collection. I've got like baseball, a hockey card collection, and a little bit of Marvel card collection. So that's hard enough to keep. So I couldn't imagine a clone collection. Good for you. I got so many questions. But do you find it difficult maintaining genetics for so long? Oh,
yeah. No, I haven't had a vacation in 5 years.
Yeah.
I barely even leave the house for more than a few hours or half a day at a time.
Of course, how could
I have there's always something to take care of, and I've had people try to get someone to help you out, and have someone water your plants for you and all that stuff, but it's tough to do that. The friends that I do have that have growing knowledge that are local and all that, they've got their own grows, and so I can't just hit someone up and say, hey, can you come water my plants for a week? And I've got auto watering systems throughout here and all that, but when you've got a clone collection, you've got mother plants, and at any point that I want to go and leave and maybe go on vacation or go somewhere for a few days, I might be in the middle of a test grow or a seed run or something like that. It's all a real big deal if those things fail or something bad happens while I'm gone. It's thousands and thousands of dollars lost. So, yeah, I guarantee you your hockey card collection isn't attached to you like a ball and chain like my
not even close, dude. It's low key. It just sits in a safe in my closet with my passports. Yeah, that's neither here nor there. No, not even close.
That's part of where the being passionate about this stuff, it goes to. It's easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's not extremely difficult to keep a clone collection alive. I have friends that have been doing it for 20 plus years, and they have a way bigger clone collection than I have, hundreds and hundreds of clones. And you can do it if you've got the space and you've got the time, and it's not that hard to do. If you've got some people around you that can help you come and take care of them, then you can leave and you can have a life and all that. But I'm so embedded in this that it's just kind of hard for me to do anything but this. I love doing it. When I started Romulan Genetics in 2019, officially selling the seeds and having a real company. Before that, I was just giving my clone cut away. That was all I did for years. And eventually some Canadians and Europeans were saying, hey, I can't get my hands on the cut. Can you make seeds for us? And that's how Romulan Genetics started, was people asked me to make them seeds. And it was just a joke at first. I was, at the time, running a company doing electrical engineering, a company that I had built from the ground up, and it was going really well. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I shuttered the company and completely retired from that. And I just do this now full time because even though I was making great money at that and I was good at it, I didn't have any kind of passion or love for it. And eventually the breeding and the Romulan genetics took over to where it's just, this is clearly my life path. This is what I want to do. So that's all I do now.
I'm so, I mean, I'm kind of amazed or / envious of the fact that you had a business in engineering of sorts already, and then kind of just, decided to jump and test the waters with both feet, bro, and decided to give it all to cannabis and to give it all to this passion. I personally, as someone who's I did the same thing to create content in the cannabis space. I know how nervous or anxiety driven or how difficult that is to be able to make that decision. But I had nothing when I made that decision to go into this. I didn't have anything. I was out of a job and I really had no choice. So to have something already and then to do this is not only a testament to either A, your craziness, or B, your passion for this plant, dude. That's impeccable, man. Good for you. Good for you.
Thanks. It's got to be equal parts both, I think.
I think that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. And good for you for not denying it.
You got to be a little crazy to be
You have to, dude.
industry as it is.
You have to, dude. And to touch on it, you have military service. I want to talk about crazy. Sorry. You have military service. And,
Right.
And man, first of all, thank you for your service. And I don't want to bring in any negative light. Military people aren't crazy in the sense that someone might take that negatively. But I mean that in the sense of sacrificing and fighting for your country, and whether you do that at home or abroad, it's greatly appreciated. And you had service, man, and I really appreciate that. So thank you.
Yeah, and I've it's one of the few points in my life that I've been around this plant since I was in diapers. When I was in junior high and high school, I started selling weed. After high school, I joined the Marine Corps. When I got out, I did some time in prison and jail for different things. And over the years, I got arrested for trafficking, got T-boned in an intersection and had a bunch of weight in the back of the car and got arrested and did time for trafficking cannabis.
Damn.
Yeah, I've been involved with it since I was little, but I've been selling it and transporting and trafficking it well into my adult years. And it's just always been part of my life. And when I was little, I dreamed of being a breeder. It was kind of like what I wanted to be when I got older for a period of time. I was getting like High Times magazines, and from like 8 to 10 or somewhere around there, I was like, I want to make my own cannabis, and I want to be a cannabis grower and breeder when I get older. And then forgot about that dream for the most part until I got older. And then my pops passed away, and I ended up finding this cut in my hands, and I grew it out and shared some flower with friends, and everyone started kind of telling me, you gotta get this thing out there and spread it, around and pass it out to people. And I started giving it away, and it's just this thing that snowballed completely out of my control, where it went from I'm giving cuts away, and I gave a cut to this really big clone company here in California that was saying, charge us like 20 grand or more for the clone. And I said, nope, I'm going to give it to you for free. I want you to sell it people as cheap as possible and make as many clones as you can. Because I've got all these people that want to get their hands on it, and I can't ship it to that many people. I just can't. And it snowballed from that into, like I mentioned, the Canadians and the Europeans asking me to make seeds because they couldn't get the cut. And then once I made seeds for them, I thought, oh, I'm done. I can stop doing this. And then they all started coming back saying, it's some of the best I've ever grown. Make cross strains, please, and make feminized seeds. And it really just blew up.
That's insane.
I had no idea it was going to end up like this.
Yeah, no kidding. Especially to have your stuff international, bro. The fact that you have people across the pond and across the border asking for your cuts, that kind of speaks volumes. And not only just asking for the cuts, but then coming back for more. Because it's one thing to get rid of all your stuff, but then for them to come back and ask for more, that speaks volumes. Because I feel like in today's day and age, it's, they're referred to as pollen chuckers or whatever you want. I don't really want to put a term on it. I just think people have kind of understood that you can make a really quick buck from building up hype on a genetic and then selling that genetic and then you know, you end up getting caught in where it's like, wow, this is good money. And then you just kind of just keep pushing seeds when it's like there's no real quality there. There's no variety. It's probably labeled as something that it's not. That's a pain in the ass is kind of understanding that you actually have something that is claimed to be. You, as I said that though, you mentioned that you have the Tropicana. What was the Kush that you said? Sorry, that line.
Topanga Canyon Pure Kush.
Pink Canyon. Is that what you said?
Topanga Canyon.
Oh, Topanga, like Boy Meets World.
Boulevard in Malibu, a section of Malibu, California.
Oh, okay. That makes way more sense. Okay, so
That's what Topanga Canyon is an actual canyon in the Malibu area outside of Los Angeles, California.
I'm glad you told me that. I had no idea, coming from the boonies of the prairies in Canada.
Yeah, I actually grew up right around the time that was becoming popular and being passed around. I had some friends that were a little older, adults and stuff, that were able to get that pure Kush from that source at the time. And like years and years went by, and it was always something I thought of. You know, it was one of the first strange cultivars that I ever smoked when I was younger. And I loved it. It was really, really, really potent stuff. And it ended up, I bumped into some guy in Alaska that sent me the cut, and then was able to kind of verify it over a period of time. And it's fantastic. It's really good.
That's sweet. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. And it's exciting to know that that you have something that has a little bit of history to it. And it is what it is. That is what it is. That's kind of where I was getting at that. To kind of go back for a second, you said that like when you were young, you were checking out High Times, and that was the thing. What do you think of High Times getting a new owner? I'm sure you've heard about that. Josh Kesselman?
Yeah, I think it's good. It's a good thing. I mean, I really don't know either way, but I know that the direction that High Times was heading for.
It wasn't great.
Any magazine publication these days, it's a difficult thing to do. Most of them have turned to where the content isn't really there, and it's just this big advertisement thing.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about High Times other than some, brief interactions with them. I've been involved heavily with Skunk Magazine for a long time. So I know a lot about them, but I don't know much about High Times other than all the breeders. Everyone I talked to was like, yeah, I don't really mess with High Times because they're this and they're that. But other than that, I don't know. So hopefully Josh from Raw can turn it into something that the community appreciates and loves again. And it's not just kind of a mascot.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I feel like those sentiments by the breeders were founded, like legitimate, because it had gone corporate. It had gone, you said it, it was focused on advertising. It was focused on just making money and not the community and the event and the plant and the celebration of everything. And yeah, it lost its way. So yeah, those criticisms are founded, and I agree. I hope that, Josh can bring something to, kind of bring something to the table and spout it up again, because you're not alone. I feel like it brought a lot of people pleasure back in the day. It's the longest cannabis publication ever, which is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
Right. And I personally, I'm still the kind of person where I hate digital versions of anything. So if I can have my hands on the DVD or the Blu-ray or the magazine or the book or whatever it is, that's the way that I wanted. I know almost everyone from the younger generation isn't that way. So who knows how it'll go, but it would be really nice for me. I don't really care about anything else, but it'd be nice to see High Times on bookshelves and magazine racks again. To have that be a normal thing. You can go into a grocery store and there's a High Times next to a Skunk Magazine, next to Grow Magazine, and they're up there in the back kind of with the other adult magazines.
The Playboys, the H&M or whatever, those hustlers, all those adult ones that I know nothing about, never seen before in my life. I'm kind of curious too, when it comes to naming genetics, because I've heard of the Rom Scotty of yours. I've heard how great it is and how, pungent it slaps. And I personally haven't had it. Being up here in Canada, I don't have the same access. But what do you think about naming genetics? As someone who has to name genetics, what do you think about do you feel like there's how do I phrase this? Do you feel it's important to kind of give a nod to where the lineage comes from? or do you think it's really up to the breeder and to name their genetics whatever they want?
It's entirely, you can name it whatever you want. I mean, and we've already proven that. Everyone else before me, everyone else out there that's currently breeding, you can name it anything you want, from donkey dick to whatever the hell it may be that pops in your head. That part really doesn't matter. I think, the naming conventions we used to have, like Next Generation Seeds made a cross of Romulan and Blueberry, and they called it Romberry. You just kind of, like Rom Scotty, you just kind of mash the two parents together, and that's the name. That's a really great naming convention, because anyone out there can get a joint and go, what is this? It's Rom Scotty. Oh, that's like what, Romulan and Viscotti. You already kind of know what the cross is. You don't have to really take much of a guess. If something's called Amnesia Dream, it's Blue Dream and Amnesia Haze or something like that. That's a great naming convention, but unfortunately we can't really keep doing that, because like nowadays we've got, I've made 3 or 4 different versions and variations of a Romulan and Blueberry, and they're all different. And the Romberry that Next Generation Seeds made really isn't around anymore. But if I came out with a Romberry, even if I call it the RG version or V2 or whatever, it's confusing and it's offensive to the guy who made Romberry. But it's, it's confusing to the community and everything. So it has to have a new name. We can't really recycle and reuse old names, but at the same time, you can't call it Berry Rom or, Blue Yulin. So there's only a few names of combos that actually works together. And so we have to, at a certain point, kind of just start making up our own names and coming up with our own things. The important part is having the parental lineage there as part of the information to customers and growers, having that be factual and having that be true. If you put out something and you call it, Blue Dream, and the parent strains that you're listing aren't even real strains, they're just names you've made up, and it's not even really factual as to what made it. Those are things that people should never do. But as far as when you make a creation, you can name it whatever you want.
Yes, sir. I totally agree with you. Blue Yulin. Have you thought about that before, or did you just come up with that on the top of your head?
No, that one
That was good, dude. Well, I had to say it 4 times in my head so I could just repeat it just like that. That was good. That was impressive. Romulan genetics. Now, I know, as someone who follows you on Twitter, that you have received a little flack in regards to the name Romulan genetics. Is that really a problem for you? Do you deal with anyone who just says, how could you use the name Romulan in your name Romulan genetics? Is that a big deal?
No, not at all. I've had haters and doubters and disbelievers over the years. Sure. I've had people pop up out of the blue and say things. What you're actually referencing is one single person. He's a breeder. About a year ago, he first talked shit about me and Romulan genetics on Instagram because I had bred something with something he created. So I was crossing Romulan, something that he had made. And his history, everyone kind of knows this, is any breeder out there, unless they're personal friends with him, if they breed with something he's made, he instantly starts shit with that person. So he did that, and everyone kind of came to me and told me, and I just ignored it. I don't care. It really doesn't bother me. I'm doing what I'm doing. If people are going to get caught up trying to jump up my ass about something, that's their own issue. The recent thing he did, though, was because I actually agreed on someone's post that said all he does is talk shit about other breeders. And then he turned around and talked shit about me. So, and I showed up, respectfully answered all of his questions. People can come forward and kind of talk about those things and say whatever they want. But nobody that's ever talked shit about me has ever brought any receipts with it. They've never brought any proof or anything like that. And what I've been able to do the whole time is answer their questions, bring the receipts, bring the proof. I've got people who were directly involved in my life now.
Yeah. No, good. You shouldn't care. I didn't know if you were going anywhere. Continuing. Go ahead.
No. I kind of drink water.
I do it all the time.
So I've been able to, everything from Romulan Joe himself to Vic High, Mark Emery, the people who were directly involved at the time. I've been able to bring all this evidence, all this proof forward. And The nice part of it, though, is those haters and doubters and disbelievers, I don't have an issue with any of them, really, because most of them are coming from a place of ignorance. They don't know any better. It's fine. But what they've pushed me to do is connect with all of the original people who were directly involved that do have the evidence. And so over the years, I've been able to put together for the rest of the community what the actual history of Romulan is, which is important because you go and Google it and there's a whole menagerie of different stories and different things out there. But the biggest misconception that people have is that Romulan Joe, who's the guy that, brought it out into the world, that he bred it, that he named it, that it's a clone-only cut, and it's from Canada. And all those are false. Every single one of them. I brought Breeder Steve in because of the last interaction that we had. Breeder Steve and I had a conversation. Anyone that doesn't know who Breeder Steve is, look him up, but he's been around for a long time. He's a legend. Him and I started a conversation just randomly, and we started talking about Romulan. And it's like I got something stuck in my throat.
No, it's okay. Take your time. I take your time. And just as you take a sip, or maybe two, when I was referring to this, I wasn't given any troll or any shit talker credit. I actually was referring to a post that you made where you said the podcast is still available, where you sat down and you talked to somebody in a podcast on YouTube about it. Does that ring a bell or?
I don't know. I mean, almost every podcast I've been on, I've discussed it, the history, the lineage.
Yeah, this was
different aspects of people either talking shit or something like that.
Yeah, it was irrelevant, most of all, to who was saying it. It was more so about, I was just kind of curious in regards to just the name and if it was something that you regularly get flagged. But yeah, no, I the single.
Well, it's actually this last recent thing that happened was the first time it's happened since like 2021. I mean, it's been years since anyone's really kind of stepped forward and tried to talk shit. And it's because of the way that I can answer all of those questions and the way that I can bring proof and evidence and people forward. I'm where I am right now because people vetted and vouched for and grew my cut and knew my story was true. I would have been blown out of the water in 2020. And I wouldn't be here if I was a fake or a fraud or had lied about any aspect of this story. But what's been a really cool part of what I was trying to explain about people who kind of step forward and they want to be haters or they want to talk shit or there's disbelievers, whatever, is that they have kind of pushed me to go and connect with all of the true evidence, the true people, the people who are really there, directly involved. And the last one was with Breeder Steve, where so Romulan Joe, his real name is Joe Slykerman. And when he left the industry, he went and worked for Breeder Steve for 8 years. They're personal friends, and they have been for a very long time. And what Steve was able to corroborate a couple things, but he brought forward a couple new pieces of information I didn't know. But that's what he corroborated was Joe said he never bred it. And then there were some new pieces of information where he said Joe didn't actually even name it Romulan. That the people he was acquiring the cut from, because Vic High and Joe showed up about the same time with this plant, and they were the same. They both acquired it from people. And Joe said that, he got it from some dangerous people, didn't want to say who it was. But basically, they were the ones who were calling it Romulan. So Joe didn't name it. He didn't breed it. And Breeder Steve also said that cut had actually come up first from the States into the British Columbia, Vancouver area. And that wasn't something that I knew about. So it's been a really cool thing to have that. It's kind of been a pain in the ass to deal with people talking shit because essentially what most of them are doing is saying, hey, your life story is a lie. And it's like, I don't know where you even think that could be remotely possible. I would have to be hiding what I'm doing from my friends and family completely and allowing it to be public all at the same time. My mom knows what I'm doing. There's no fucking way my mom, being who she is, would allow me to be telling us that she would be on Instagram herself going, my son's fucking lying, if it was a lie. So it doesn't really make any sense, but people kind of come from a certain angle or they just don't know and they think what they've heard is the truth. And so they, they try to call you out because there are a ton of people out there that are frauds and liars and scammers. But like I was saying earlier, I legitimately would not be where I am. No. There are a ton of examples of people that were frauds and liars and scammers over the years. There was this guy, I almost don't even want to say his name because it's like Candyman. You say his name and he'll show up.
Yeah, don't even.
But
don't even.
Nope. He grew skunk and he had a color in his name. Say that.
Okay.
And the name of his company. And everyone knows, except for his little tight-knit group of followers, that he's a fucking fraud. Full-blown liar. Now he makes genetics, though. He still sells seeds. It's a completely legitimate thing. But everything that he says about his background and the genetics he's working with, the original guy that grew them came forward and said he was like his protege. So there's all this evidence that he's a complete liar. Now, he's still around, like, on the internet. You can find him on Instagram and stuff, but he's not functioning at all properly as a breeder or someone selling seeds because he was completely called out by the community over and over and over again. You can't be at the level that I'm at and be full of shit. You just can't.
No, you're right.
Because you get caught. You get caught repeatedly, and you keep getting caught over and over again. So, yeah. It's hilarious, but
you're right. You're right.
But it's the really nice side effect is people pushing have been able to help me pinpoint down from all these other different people what the true history of Romulan is. And it's a wonderful, beautiful history. It's a lot better than if you Google it and you see it's some VC thing crossed with a blue indica in California. And it doesn't make any sense at all. Or other people's belief that this guy Joe showed up that bred it and it was only clone cut back in the early 90s. Which doesn't really make any sense at all, and they just disappeared. The real history is a lot better. It's Korean war vets from Canada brought home seeds in the late 50s, and a collective of people bred on it for over 20 years. And then 10 years after they stopped breeding on it, it found its popularity in the community. And because a guy got a cut called Romulan showed up with it, and everyone else fell in love with it. And it, one way or another, has stuck around since then. So it's a really cool story. It's probably one of the first modern bred strains that we have.
I love to hear that, man. And you're absolutely right. The truth is way better than fiction. It always is. It always is. And the thing is one thing to take into consideration is to touch on the fact that you're still here and the fact that your story continues is that, yeah, truth is what it's everlasting. It seems, it's what it can stand the test of time. Whereas we've seen these trolls, we've seen these naysayers, we've seen these people come and they go, they talk shit. They're here for what? At most, I can get a troll to be consistent for like a month, and then they're gone. The ship sails, and then harvest happens, and we move on. And so it's like to give it any limelight. I like that you can use it for your adventure too, to figure out, to kind of, check the sources too at the same time, to kind of look into it. Like what I find too is that, it's very difficult to actually hear out a troll. It's only text messages. And I shouldn't say troll. I mean someone who's commenting, because sometimes I take a legitimate critical or a constructive criticism comment as being someone being an asshole, and I immediately can just turn them off. I can turn, and they weren't. They're actually, in fact, a huge fan. They've watched it for a very long time, and they just know, here, Pigeons, you slipped here, and this, I noticed it, and I'm here because I'm calling you out because I actually appreciate you, and so it's hard to sense that in text sometimes, and yeah, sometimes I can kind of get to that position where I think everyone's just hating on me. And sometimes it's like, no, you just got your hater glasses on and you're not willing to actually listen to what's being said.
Yeah, I think that's a really important thing. I've talked about this privately with friends before, but it's, in my opinion, it's like the only downfall of haters or anything like that, trolls, is that if they're not an issue in and of themselves whatsoever at all. In fact, usually they're pretty funny and they're great. The problem is when you kind of get, left and right. You're dealing with that, and then someone shows up and you treat them exactly. You smack them upside the face, and you're like, get out of here, and they weren't that. So that's really the only downfall of trolling and hating and things like that. People who, the cannabis industry has its a huge share of people who just talk shit to each other, and it's totally unnecessary and we don't need it. But people do it all the time for no reason. I mean, I had a guy this morning try to start an argument with me that I was not going to get baited in on about the Harrison Narcotics Tax Act of 1914. Of all things to argue about.
Good God.
People will do that about anything. So, you gotta let him do that. But when you get kind of caught up in those things, then you can kind of turn to someone, and it could be your mother, your brother, or a close friend, and they say something, and you're like, "What the fuck do you mean by that?" And they're like, "Whoa,
Yeah, you have a rough day at work,
what
dude.
color shoes you were wearing today?"
Right? That's it. I've done it. And my wife and I have been together for forever. And the thing is that, she'll, when it comes to like studio or the show or something, yeah, I could be sensitive sometimes. And yeah, it's no different than like having a rough day at work and you're all upset and you're kind of just stressed out and you come home and then unfortunately, who do you take it out on? So it's important to be able to like, yeah. I never actually thought about that too, because I talk about comments all the time, man. And I find that you often it's green, 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 green. Everything's positive, green, 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 and then it's red. The red stands out. You see the red amongst the green so much easier, and then it's easier to just hone in on it and be like, it's negative. When in fact, 95% of your comments, your community, your inner circle are throwing you positive. It could be overbearing. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Let's not give the haters any taters. I think I like the idea, that you don't give a shit about how people name their genetics. I like that you also mentioned that, paying homage or naming something with the name in it could be disrespectful, because who knows what you name it, and I think that's a very valid point, where it's like, okay, well, if you're willing to say that you should pay homage and put a name in it, well, what if the guy that named it originally doesn't like the name you named it? So I didn't even think about that. So that's definitely something to consider.
That's a fair point. There are a lot of people, past and present breeders, who don't really like people working with their stuff. I'm not in that gene pool, I guess, for lack of a better way to explain it. I love it when people breed with my shit. That to me, that's the ultimate thing. Especially the breeders out there who are like Tony Green's Tortured Beans, and Green Wolf Genetics and Jordan of the Islands, guys who went and bred with my stuff on their own and did really great work with it. To me, that's the highest honor. There really isn't anything better as far as like industry accolades or anything like that goes. And those are always kind of like unspoken things too. It's each one of those breeders came to me and said, "Hey, do you mind first?" And I said, "Oh, how about it? Please have fun." And then eventually, like a year or two later, it happens and it comes out, and it's, there's like nothing else. I just kind of stumble upon it one day. Oh, they finally came out with those. It's not like I'm getting anything out of it, but I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, that's good, man. And you know what? In my opinion, if you don't want your genetics being used in other projects, don't put them out, dude. Come on.
Right.
The reality is that that's gonna happen. If I sell a car, somebody might just take the trunk off it and put a spoiler on or something, right? Or they might just put a body kit on it. Now, other than Ferrari, I can't imagine there's too many car dealerships out there that say you can't do work to their car afterwards. But yeah, there should be someone expecting. I like that you think of it as a badge of honor too. If someone's willing.
Yeah, I've had a few.
Go ahead.
I've had a few friends that were breeders that were like, called me and complained someone's working with my thing, and I said, well, then start only making autoflowers if that's your.
What's your opinion? What's your opinion on autoflowers? Do you have one?
I don't grow them and I don't smoke them, but other than that, that is what it is. The people who grow it, like home growers and all that stuff, even when it's in a commercial facility, it's got its place. It really does. But I am a really, really picky smoker. And the few samples that I've tried that were autoflower were like, I would prefer mids over autoflower. That's just my personal. I'd rather have some decent brickweed that was trafficked in a horrible way than a really well grown autoflower.
Oh, that's too funny. I have a saying. Actually, sorry. So I don't admit to it. Tupac is famous for saying that autoflowers are where good genetics go to die. Because unfortunately, once you harvest it or once you grow it, it's done. It's done. Like if you really like that one, what are you gonna do with it? Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. It's done.
Right.
Smoked it. That last nug is the last of that possible pheno for the ever. So yeah, I think he was right. I think he was right. One thing too is the I had it on the top of my head. You distract me with the autoflowers. You got me with the autoflowers. As a home grower too.
Every time.
Yeah, it does. As a home grower, it's like I have grown autoflowers before, and seriously, the amount of hate that autoflowers have gotten over the last couple of years, maybe the last 12 months, I've noticed they get more hate than anything else, has made me question how good my autoflowers actually were. Because I've told people I've grown them many times, and I've said they're, other than the fact that you can't, there's no control. I think they're great for beginners if you're just learning how to grow weed and you don't want to invest anything. You just kind of want to get one tent or a windowsill and you just want it to go. Then yeah, autoflower is great for that. Great for that. You don't have to know anything. And people who grow autoflowers hate that I say that because they're like, no, pigeons. If you stunt an autoflower, it's gonna. Yeah. So
To grow an autoflower at a high level, it is far more difficult than traditional photoperiod cannabis. It is. But that's also the other side of autoflowers, that most people who grow autoflowers are not growing them at a high level. They're setting them out on a porch or they're in their bedroom as a buffer crop. And that's about it.
yes.
I don't see any brand out there with a legal dispensary saying we're pumping out autoflower, and people love it and we're winning cups with it. And that's just not happening.
Yeah.
Until that starts happening. But before anyone, and they've already left, they're watching this.
Here
live.
comes
They already
the
left
hate.
8 minutes ago,
Yeah.
and they're already sending me the DM.
Yeah, here it comes.
And they missed this part that I'm about to say right now.
Which they did.
I have not tried an autoflower in about 5 years. So don't hate
Oh,
me
okay.
for making the statement of I don't personally like them. I haven't tried one in a long time. And I've heard from people who breed with them. James Law, we were talking about him earlier. He breeds with them and stuff. And he was telling me, no, they've come a long way and they're a lot better. So they probably are. But I personally, my stance still stays the way it was back then. I have no need for them. Doesn't make any sense to me, an autoflower thing. If someone came to me and said, hey, I have this great nug, you want to smoke it? I'd be like, yep, let me smoke it. If they said, hey, I have this great autoflower nug, you want to smoke it? I'd go, nope. So
It just makes me laugh inside because, yeah, as someone who has been within the last 5 years, I have grown on it. They have come a long way. There are people that are doing some magnificent things with autos. You got Mephisto Genetics, 420 Fast Buds, and not just the breeders, the people with training autos. The people training autos right now and actually growing them are doing so in incredible ways. So, and it smokes fine. Dude, I'll tell you, it smokes fine, man. If you had two buds and I told you one was an autoflower and one was a regular one, you would have no idea. That's the reality today. Back then, no, I totally agree with you. They were underbred, they were underutilized, and I feel like today they're in a position where they can compete. They compete in the Autoflower Cup against the other autoflowers, and they do just fine.
yeah, I feel like back then everything was 30 to 50% or more lowrider, the particular cultivar lowrider. And my impressions, I don't really remember the smoke much, but I just remember getting a lot of anxiety, heart racing and they weren't sativa strains of these autoflowers that I was smoking. And it was like everything kind of brought that attribute with it, where it was just, I felt not at peace. I'm smoking weed to calm down, relax, whatever, interact with my friends. And it's like I too much medication in my heart. My chest is not happy with it.
That's fair.
So that was my impressions of it back in the day. I'm sure it's fine now. So don't hate me because I personally don't like it.
Yeah, those messages are coming, dude. Those messages are coming.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll answer to people.
It is what it is. Yeah, we deal
There'll
with
be
it.
some guy that'd be like, I've been growing autoflowers for over 30 plus years.
Yep.
And I'll have to answer that.
Yep, show it to Dave Baker. One thing I'm curious too is when you're pheno hunting for anything in particular, what stands out above everything else? Because you see everything from seedling to harvest, like to smoke. When you're pheno hunting, what are you looking for? What is the number one thing that stands out that it's like, if anything else was bad, this is the thing I need?
It's always the smoke at the end.
Yeah.
Always. Because I do my pheno hunting exactly the same way for everything. It starts as a seedling. I'm already pulling things out as seedlings. And I have this whole little kind of SOP where it's basically, I'm only taking the things that are rooting faster, growing faster than all of the other things. Clone well, all that stuff. So as seedlings, I'll pop, say 100 seeds for a pheno hunt, even though I only want to hunt through 10 or 20 total plants. I'll pop 100 seeds, whatever the number actually is. It'll always be a lot more seeds than what I'm actually going to drop. And then I'll look at those seedlings as they all have little tap roots, and the ones that have a 3 to 4 inch long tap root coming out of it, those are the ones that I select out. Everything else that's the average, basically, where they're all just, quarter inch, half inch tap roots coming out of this, they get tossed. And then the same thing happens when I'm taking cuts of all those, the 20 plants. I veg them out a little bit until they're just big enough to take cuts, and I take cuts off of everything. The ones that basically the average, they're all starting to have nubs and roots, and there'll be 3 or 4 in there that will have full roots coming out, and they're ready to be transplanted. Everything else gets tossed. I'll take those 3 or 4. And I just keep doing that until I only have winners all across the board before I've even flowered them. So whatever I'm going to select for at the end, it doesn't matter if I like the way this plant looks and it's super pretty, or I like, the bud structure on that one, whatever. They all are kind of in the same group. There isn't one that's going to outperform the other one until you get to harvest time and meet the flower. And so that's the only thing that matters to me. At harvest time, if I smoke it and it knocks my fucking socks off and the other things are just kind of decent or taste okay, then that the one I'm selecting is the one that's like, holy shit, that jar is getting emptied first all day long. I don't select for this one tastes crazy. I will never do that. If I find something that tastes, smells like pistachios or something and nothing else does, I don't care. If it smokes really great and it smells like pistachios, then cool. That's probably going to be the one I select. But it's all about the end product when it comes time to smoke it, because nobody is staring at the plant while they're smoking a joint. There's no way for them to, have that. I was in the grow room and I saw the plant experience. All you're doing is smoking a joint at that concert or wherever it is that you're at. So that's all that matters to me. The look of the plant, the trichome coverage, all those things are secondary.
That's fair, dude. That's great, man. And I think it's very interesting that you mentioned that it starts as early as the tap root, dude. The tap root. It's like you could have the Godzilla of all Godzilla smokes in there, but if it ain't got no tail on it, boy, it ain't getting their attention. I think that's very interesting. I'm actually very similar in regards to the training style. For me, as a home grower, I would like a plant that exploits the space that it's in because of restrictions, because of whatever plant counts, and so on and so forth. I would like to, for me, if it's tall and lanky, get out of here. It might end up being good smoke, but if it doesn't pass steps 1, 2, and 3, I'll never know. And you're kind of the same way. If it doesn't have a good tail, and if it doesn't make, then it ain't gonna make it, regardless if
the way I look at it is, if it didn't have a very good chance to survive in nature, there's no point in me sifting through it.
Right. That makes total sense. Yeah, that makes total sense. Good for you. Your story with cannabis goes back very early, to your childhood. I know you were very close with your dad, which I'm envious of, and rest in peace. And he's the reason that you've kind of taken the Romulan adventure, correct?
Yep.
Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, Dad was he was a huge drug dealer. Growing up, before I was born, all that. If you've ever seen the movie Blow with Johnny Depp, it's the story of George Jung. My dad was like a miniature George Jung. He wasn't nearly as big as George was. He didn't blow it up with the coke like George did. But Dad did eventually sell cocaine, LSD, pills. He was involved with the Hells Angels up and down the entire West Coast. He got involved with the early Baja California, I think it's like the Jalisco cartel or something like that. I don't know their name, but he was involved with them before they were considered a cartel. We had a little property in a town called Casita Springs, and Johnny Cash lived in a house on a hill right up above us. Dad would have Cessnas fly over drugs and kicked out over our property. He'd light oil drum fires back in the 70s. And that was kind of the level he was at. He was the dealer for Fleetwood Mac, the Eagles, a bunch of really famous bands. But he was the biggest drug dealer in the Tri-County area on the West Coast. That includes Los Angeles County. So I grew up around that. And, we had crops and plants in my backyard. I was always back there playing, in my diapers. And, once I hit like 5, 6, 7, and 8, me and my friends would try to bypass the booby traps my dad had built around the crop, and it was always there. It was always part of my life. So I was always there going to like the camping trips that my dad would go on. And, it was always there. By the time I was 15, 16, I was smoking weed. And the first time I smoked, it was Mexican brick out of a Coke can. The second time I smoked, it was White Widow from the High Times Cannabis Cup, the year that it came out. And it was an actual bud that was purchased, it was about like this big, purchased at the High Times Cannabis Cup and smuggled back to my home seat. And we were smoking on it as a little kid. I literally hallucinated and watched TV that wasn't even there. It was so good.
That's insane, bro. I absolutely love that story, man. And I'm kind of curious to you because it's like, it's wild. Dad being involved with the Hells Angels, some dark characters, if you will. I'm not going to speak on it, and I have no place. But it's like, do you have kids today, Jake?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a daughter that's going on 30, and I have a son that's 10.
I'm kind of, that's a big spread too. Good for you.
Yeah.
It's funny.
The daughter wasn't planned. It was right before I went into the Marine Corps. I got a girl pregnant.
Life happens and it works in mysterious ways, eh? Good for you. Good for you. And kids are beautiful, man. And being a dad is something that's so rewarding and something that's just, it's like nothing other, or like nothing. It's like nothing other. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. And someone was giving me a hard time the other day because they said that I've said times before where if you've never been a dad before, you just don't understand for some things. And I stand by that because it's true. It's true. That self or that feeling of like selflessness or that feeling of guilt or that feeling of just emotion sometimes that you get from being a dad it sucks sometimes. But my point was, as you're a dad now, how do you feel looking back at your childhood like that? Obviously you probably won't change anything, but how does that make you feel as a dad now and raising kids and the experience that you want to give them? Because I guess
I don't really.
Do you like?
I always think that.
Sorry, go ahead.
My past doesn't really factor in as far as anything like that goes. I guess my best way to answer that is that when I was younger, maybe like teenage years, later teenage years, I maybe didn't have the same reverence for my past and my childhood, or the same way to look at it, same frame of perspective that I have now. Now I'm thankful for it. I wouldn't change anything about my past pretty much at any point because it defines who I am now and it shaped me and made me into the man I am today. When I was younger, I probably would have said I would have wished for things to be different in this way or this way, because some of my upbringing was difficult and it was tough. But as far as what Dad did and being a drug dealer and all those things, all of that was just kind of this little side part of the adventure. He had a normal job the whole time. He was one of those dealers that had he could cover it in his taxes, and he had all these things that made everything made sense. He was really careful. Our house got raided several times, and every time it did, he got tipped off with a phone call from the clerk at the courthouse who was filling out the warrant. And so he cleared everything out of the house before the cops even showed up every time. It was all just kind of part of how things went. And so nowadays it's like I don't really, it doesn't really factor into how I look at life today. And I'm thankful for my past.
Good. You should be. Beautiful answer, man. I guess you answered it wonderfully. I was really just like, when I grew up, weed was the devil where I was at, and it was not, there was no space for anything positive for weed. So it was very easy for me to just assume bad. And I understood that the approach that the role models in my life tried to take, or role models, the adults in my life tried to take, was wrong. It was wrong. And I know that I wasn't going to hide away from cannabis. I wasn't going to turn it into this like mystical bad thing. And I was going to try to use education, and I was going to incorporate it and these kind of things. So it's like, I'm thankful. I wouldn't change it either in the same way. Much different experience, but it allows me to like go into parenthood with a little more education, or at least knowledge on, this helped me. It didn't bring pain. It didn't bring suffering. At the end of the day, it helped me and led me to where I am today. So I want my kid to have that too, in a way.
Right. Yeah. And my son has a much different life at 10 now than I had when I was 10. I mean, it's not even, you can't even compare the two. I mean, my son's got the internet on a phone in his hand,
Right.
all the time. It's such a different reality, that you can't even, it's just apples and oranges at that point. But the way I grew up was, kind of exactly how I am right now. There's cannabis being grown outside, and there's cannabis being smoked daily in the house, and life is about, laughing and joy and having a good time, and treating the people around you with love and respect, and being an honorable, respectable person to everyone that you know. That was it. That was all life was. Barbecues and camping trips on the weekends, and get work done during the week. And it's still like that here for me today. That's day in and day out. It's the exact same kind of lifestyle. So,
I think it's very clear then that your father was a great man and taught you, despite his adventures and where that took him, they taught you that it taught you a lot on how to be a good character and a strong man and a father to your kids and your community. So, shout out to your dad, shout out to you and your family, because you guys are kicking ass, and it shows. And I'm excited to see where your adventure takes you, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Jake, if there was anyone that wanted to reach out to you or have a conversation or get hands some of your stuff, I got to be careful what I say on YouTube, and I started to say it as I had held off. Where could they reach you?
We've got websites. That's the easiest single place. Go to www.romulangenetics.com. And at the very bottom, there's little icons for like social media and email and all those things. You can click on those and you'll find our YouTube account, our Twitter X account, our Instagram account. We've got a Discord up, like you have a Discord. It's an open invitation. It's right there at the top of our homepage on our website. You can go and join the Discord at any point. And we've got our official testers group is in there. We've got our public testers are in there, and then plus just a bunch of other random people that are our customers. And it's a great little place to hang out. But we've got that. I mean, and I'm open for communication in any venue. So you can send me a DM on X. You can send me a DM on Instagram. If you send me something and I don't reply, send a comment and say, hey, I sent you a DM, because sometimes I don't get those notifications. I don't even get those DMs. Email always works too. You can always get a hold of us through that. Our seeds are carried at about 20 different seed banks, and our website has direct links to all those seed bank partners that we have. Some of them aren't even listed. but you'll see like some older seed banks that don't really carry the new stuff. So we've got like about 25 seed banks out there, but there's 20 listed on our site. Some are in Europe, some ship international. Most of them are here in the States. We sell directly from our website, and so been doing it for a long time. I've put seeds in just about every country in the world at this point.
That's got to feel pretty good. That's got to feel great.
It is quite an accomplishment.
It,
I haven't sent anything to North Korea yet.
yeah, you can hold out, I guess, a little bit longer, I guess, right? No rush.
I'm not trying to get put on a terror watch list.
Yeah, no rush, dude. I encourage people to check you out, man. Your genetics are outstanding, but for those that don't know, your photography is also quite spectacular, and the pictures that you're taking are exquisite. So, Jake, hats off to you. Thank you very much for joining me. I encourage people to check you out, and I can't wait to have this conversation again, brother.
Yeah, same. Thanks for having me, both of you.
Absolutely.
Thanks to everyone who watched this.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Stick around for a half sec. Guys, we'll be right back after this.
In the arms of the angel, fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room, and the endlessness that you fear.
Hi, I'm Pigeons 420. Will you be an angel for an abused plant? Every day, innocent plants are abused, beaten, and neglected, and they're calling for your help. Please visit stashblend.com today and join the nation in helping abused plants get an 8-ounce bag of Stash Blend. That's just $27.70 or 96 cents per day. You'll be helping rescue plants from their abusers and provide nutrition, beneficial bacteria, mycorrhizae, and love. You'll help rescue plants from their abusers. Call or join now, and you'll receive a welcome kit of a photo of a dude impacted by your decision. Order now and change a life.
All right. Yo, a huge shout out to Jake from Romulan Genetics for pulling up tonight. That was absolutely epic. His story is incredible. And in fairness, we actually we just scratched the surface in regards to the things that guy's doing, the things that he's done, the stories that he can tell, his past. And I got a feeling that, you know what, we may just very well see him again for a part 2, because that was epic, man. What did you guys think? What did you guys think of that? I thought that was pretty dang good. Shout out to everybody who made it through the whole thing. I appreciate you guys. Sorry for the little bit of a hiccup at the very beginning. That was my fault. Huge shout out to Mrs. P for handling it like a champion.
It wasn't your fault.
She's
it was
amazing.
My fault.
She's amazing. I love her to pieces, and she can do no wrong. Even though when stuff like that happens, I'm literally running around here pulling my own hair out.
Because I don't know what to do.
But that's not what I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. Seriously, I'm just checking out chat because you guys are friggin' awesome, and I just wanted to say thank you guys for going through the whole thing. And I just wanted to touch on one thing. If anybody, thank you for those of you that were involved in the conversation earlier in regards to the stories we were covering. It is very difficult to have a conversation in a chat that moves so fast with 200 other people in there that can make it difficult to have a solid conversation. So if there's something that was on anybody's chest that they wanted to get off their chest and they want to have that conversation with me, I said it before, hit me up on Twitter at Pigeons420. Okay, hit me up. Let's have a conversation. We'll throw some ideas back and forth, and I might even talk about the conversation here, or I do a ton of live streams on Twitch at Pigeons420. Hit me up on Twitch. It's a live streaming platform. It's pretty dope, and I game a lot, but at the same time, I also talk a bunch of shit, and I answer questions and just answer anything that gets asked. So nothing's off the table for conversation. I seriously mean that. I can handle it all as long as we don't attack each other. So hit me up if you want to have a conversation. Hit me up live while I'm on Twitch. I'll be there tomorrow at 10 p.m. Central. We'll be, what day is it? Friday? Yeah, I will be here Friday. Won't be here Saturday, but I'll be here Friday. So yeah, hit me up tomorrow night. Okay. You guys really enjoyed that show. Hey, you guys really enjoyed that conversation. That was a good one. Hey, Jake is a freaking legend in the space, and I seriously want to thank him for making time for the flock this evening. So thank you, brother. And yes, a huge shout out to Mrs. P for killing it. Killing it.
Thanks, guys.
On this episode. Yes. No matter what happens, Mrs. P and I go through these things together. And my stress level has come down a ton in regards to this show, and it's a live show. And if there's anything I've learned over the last year and a half is that when it's live, things are going to happen, and that's just the way it goes. I'm thankful that audio is always on point, and you know, we kind of have connections working relatively easy. It's technical stuff, and you can't fix the technical stuff. So it is what it is, and you can't always predict it. So
We did see your comment about the TV though, Robert, and we will consider and see if we can make that happen.
yeah, I appreciate that Mrs. P's not going to spill the beans. Can you bring it to the wide shot, please, Mrs. P? What is that? Oh, that's the raffle, I think. You have it on the screen. I have no idea. I was just gonna say,
What do you want me to pull the wide shot?
so that we would have just the TV here. Do you have the T logo? I'm gonna spill the beans here because if you made it this late, ladies and gentlemen, you're a real one. This is just a green screen, friends. This is just a green screen.
I can take the green.
Okay.
I
No,
can
then it
take
just goes
off.
black. It doesn't prove anything. This is just a green screen. Okay. And when somebody's on the TV, I am actually I can't see them on the TV. There's actually a monitor that I look at just offset that I'm staring at that gives me their face. So what I'm gonna do, Robert, because you said that, I'm gonna make sure that monitor's farther to the corner. So when I'm talking to them, it looks like I'm more so angled towards the TV. I love that you guys think that it's on the TV. I love that some of you don't know that there's a green screen. I love it. I love you guys.
We at one point very early on did have it on the TV.
We did.
And
We only did it once.
It caused all kinds of issues.
Having the show on the TV.
We had the interviewee.
It was Matt from Strange Show. I did the show because you had just had surgery.
Oh yeah.
And you were in bed.
And I came downstairs because you were having issues.
Yeah, and I was trying to run the show from here, from the TV, and the color was all off. It was just really bad and stuff. So I learned really, really early that it's tough. It's tough. So I want to let you know, if it was easy, I wouldn't do it. Okay? This show stands out. This is the only show that does this format of interview style, of this conversation. This is the only way. And I love it this way. It is way harder. And that's exactly the way that I signed up for. So,
but we try to make it look as good as we can for you guys.
Try to make it look as good as possible. Yup.
And sometimes that means there's no audio.
Yeah, sometimes no audio. Sometimes no audio. So I appreciate it. It was a great show. Never heard of Jake before that. So thanks for that. Appreciate that, Jiggle. Thank you for your opinion, man. Link to the Romulan Discord can be found on X on @RomulanJake and ADK Singanic X on X if you're interested. New testers are going. You know what, Mrs. P, actually, as a matter of fact, let's see if we can just link Jake's X to the chat so we can get people going in the right way, because we want everybody. This isn't a community of one. This is a community of all. And quite frankly, if you're in the community to grow beautiful and bountiful plants, and you're in the community to share that experience with the people, and you want to see the plant prosper and to see more people exposed to the reality of harnessing their medication and improving their lives, I'm in this mission with you, man. Big or small, we're in this together. Okay, we're in this together. All right. Mrs. P is great. Kaya, you are absolutely correct. Yo, I can THC. Can you mod that man up, please, so that I can see him when he's in the chat? Matt, you, sir, are being knighted. All right. Mod status to the highest order, please. Or I might even be. I did it.
Oh.
I did it.
Don't tell me to do something.
No, I did it. I didn't know I could do it. I didn't know I could do it. There we go. Got him. Huge shout out to the ICANN THC. There's another son of a gun that I fox with. That's another guy that I support. Not only do I support and that I enjoy his acquaintance of, I love that dude, man. We've been across the country together. Not only that, I had the opportunity to. I was in Matt's home. He showed me some wonderful hospitality, and we had a great time. And I love that cat. So if you haven't already, make sure you do go check out ICANN THC. Not only is this guy dropping some incredible videos about our plant, what I actually appreciate more is that he's stepping it up and giving us some good quality analysis of news in our space. And if you're looking for news with ICANN, from Matt's perspective, I strongly encourage you check out Legal News Network. You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. And for as long as I got a channel, I'm going to. Our communities are evolved. So shout out to my boy ICANN. You know, this community of people that I fox with is small. The circle's small, but it's tight. So there it is right there, Legal News Network. Make sure you go check that out. Hit that subscribe button, and then let me know when you hit that subscribe button. Let me know how many people hit that subscribe button. All right, I want to know, and I want to know by the time I'm done packing this beautiful bowl of a genetic that I'm not extremely fond of, and I want to know what who's in, baby. So, and I can't wait. Here's the shit. You damn right, Robert. And I can't wait to actually see Matt's perspective on the raid on Glass House Farms that we spoke about earlier. That sparked up some conversation. Actually, in fact, maybe even we can get Matt's opinion here live next week. Let's put him on the spot, okay? For just a brief moment. I just want to get his opinion. Quick phone call. And see what he thinks. But we'll talk about that after. Hit it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for subbing. I'm already subbed. I love it. Thank you, Lacey. Love it. Chapo, thank you. Brina, appreciate you. Kurt, let's go, baby. ICANN is the shit. Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Love you, dude. Appreciate you, dude. I know I love you. And Mrs. P. Right back at you, brother. And I can't wait to chill again, dude. It's going to be soon, man. It's going to be what? December, I think, is the next time. You doing the old MJ? Well, yeah, we're doing MJ. There's no doubt about it. We're doing MJ. We'll see you in Vegas in a couple
Well, I'm not
months.
doing MJ, but I'll do Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't go to the boring
I
part.
did a video on you guys. Yeah, I feel like our views are aligned. Yeah, I got a feeling. I got a feeling And I got a feeling everybody else will come to terms when they see that too. And I'm gonna catch that. I'm sorry I didn't catch that, because had I caught that, I could have been prepared with some good quality knowledge, some talking points, and everything I need to know about the situation. Had I just watched the Legal News Network first. Okay.
Kind of surprised you didn't, to be honest.
Cheers, guys. Me too. But I was in scramble mode. Cheers, guys.
I know.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. If you are at all interested, on behalf of Seedsman, we are doing a giveaway. You could have the opportunity of winning one of 2 packs of your choice. Restrictions may apply. Because, I'll be honest. I was like, I hit up my boy at Seedsman. I was like, Otto. He's like, what's up, P? I was like, I'm running a giveaway on Thursday, and I really want to hit him. I want to hit him with some Seedsman genetics. Yeah, of course, dude. We'd love to give away some 5-packs. I was like, fucking A, dude. Let's go. Okay, sweet. Thanks, bro. So I didn't ask what 5-packs. I didn't ask about how many 5-packs. I didn't ask about anything. So I thought, you know what? Let's do 2. We'll do 2 5-packs of genetics of your choice, but then I made that up. So that's why I asterisk this with restrictions may apply, because they're going to hit you up and be like, well, actually, we got these ones that are bazillion dollars and we can't give them away for free. So anyways, huge shout out to Seedsman for being a participant and just putting up with my shenanigans all the time. We appreciate them. And all you had to do was you had to hit the link.
Which I will add one more time.
One more time. I want to be straight. 2 things I want to mention. First, we don't do giveaways where you have to pay anything. Okay? if you do win a giveaway here, shipping and handling will be covered. All right, there will be no expense. If anybody with the Pigeon's name or his associates, okay, that goes for anybody with CLTV, and that goes for Rob, that goes for Mr. Grow It. Matt's in the chat, so no one's gonna reach out to you guys and say, hey, for a couple dollars, we'll send you some stuff. No, we're gonna cover it all. You're just gonna win. Okay, that's the first thing. That's always. So if someone reaches out saying for $100 you want a light, it's a scam, guys. Okay, it's a scam. Don't please don't fall for it. Second thing, I don't really announce giveaways here, guys. If you guys are here now, that's what I'm trying to reward. When you guys show up time and time again, episode after episode, week after week, despite the fact of the audio issues, the production issues, the connection issues, the scrambled issues, the fact I can't read issues, like, I appreciate you, man. It's like, because you see something bigger than me, and you believe in something that, you know, that I've been trying to do for a long time, and that's to spread the message of cannabis. I mean it. More people should grow weed. It's just that simple. You should be able to harness your medicine, and you should be able to use that to make and create the best version of yourself, whether it's for anxiety, whether it's for pain management, whether it's just so you can sleep at night, or whether it's just so you can tolerate other human beings. It's important that we have a sustainable, self-reliable method of obtaining our medication. More people need to know that. I'm not trying to change the minds of those that don't want to be changed. That's fine. I'll leave that to somebody else. I just want to show people that don't know that cannabis is and can be the way. So that's my mission, and I appreciate you guys for supporting me. And that's really the purpose of this show. That's the purpose of a live stream. That's the purpose of my whole existence in the cannabis space online, and in real life too. But in real life, I'm in a really small town that really, if I just keep talking about weed, people are just going to get bored of me. So I really appreciate you guys for putting up with me, and I appreciate you guys for supporting the mission. And I just, honestly, I can't say thank you enough. Remember, I'm not self-made. I'm 115,000 made. Okay, so shout out to you guys for being there and for being for me. And because of that, I want to reward those who are in the chat and here for the cause. And without saying huge giveaway or giveaways or nothing, and I'm not trying to cast shade to anybody that does do that. Let me be very clear. I don't care. What anybody else does on their side of the planet or their side of the internet is totally up to them. Don't care. For me over here, this is what I'm doing. All right. And this is, and in the same respect, I'm sure nobody cares what I'm fucking doing. So I don't like to make a big deal about it. I don't run giveaways every episode, so it's not always like that. It's just, I like to make sure that we just run them for those that make it here and support me. That's really what it's about. So when you see somebody who wins, you're like, dude, that guy's here all the time. Bingo. Nailed it. That's the point. That's the point. So it's just that's just the way I like it. That's just the way I like it. And shout out to everybody else in this community that's doing giveaways, that's trying to get the most amount of equipment to the most amount of people. That's really cool too, and I support that. So if they've got giveaway on the title or giveaways in the thumbnails, I support that. Let me be very, very clear. Okay? So, with that being said, Mrs. P, what do you think? Should we give away 2 individual 5-packs from Seedsman? And if you don't win, you can still be a winner if you head over to Seedsman and use promo code PIGEONS420. All right? You can do that and save a little bit. And because Seedsman is a sponsor of the show, the channel, there's a little bit of a kickback as well. Okay? We're a part of the affiliate program. And for every little bit that you spend, you'll also help out the channel. So you get a little off. We get a little support. Everybody's a winner. You get quality genetics. Bada bing, bada boom. Bob's your uncle. So, Mrs. P, shall we run it? What do you think?
I'm ready.
Mrs. P's ready. Mrs. P is ready. Can I get a huge shout out to Mrs. P in the chat, ladies and gentlemen? Huge shout out to Mrs. P in the chat. Let me tell you, she pulls up, she shows up every episode.
Takes me so long to get here.
Yep. It can. She drives a long distance to come to work every single day. She has to take a boat and a plane. It's remarkable. She's beautiful. And one thing on that I didn't mention last week was that Mrs. P and I actually celebrated 10 years of marriage. It was actually the day before, our episode was the day before our wedding anniversary.
Oh yeah, last week.
Last week.
Yes, it was.
On July 11th.
Yep.
Wouldn't forget. It's tattooed it on. I tattooed it on myself in Roman numerals, and I can't read it.
Except you did forget.
I did forget, but that's not a big deal. I do man stuff. Okay, I do man stuff. All right.
You just got the day and the year mixed up. It's okay.
That's all right. I thought it was the
It was
15th
close.
month and the 11th day.
It was close.
It was close, but huge shout out to my wife. We've been together for 17. Is that what it is? 17.
17 years in March. 10 years married last week. Many more.
Wow, that's impressive, Mrs. P. Good for you. Good for you.
What, for putting up with you for that long?
committing. Yep, for committing. You know, he's not a bad guy. Good for you. I'm proud of you.
You know, he treats me pretty well. He makes life pretty fun.
Was there a nip slip?
Gave me a wonderful kid. I can't really complain a whole lot.
Yeah, childbirth was the
Takes
worst.
me on crazy trips every now and again, and I get to meet some really, really cool people who think that he's just so fantastic. And yeah.
And I can't make that up. So despite how much I tell her I'm fantastic, okay, when you tell her, it's like, what?
It's still very surreal to me when we go anywhere where, like, whether it's Vegas or really any of the trips that we go on for work, and people know you.
Me too.
It's still very surreal, and I love it, and I love getting to meet all of you guys, and I'll meet more of you as the months and the years go on. You'll see me more, but it's so much fun, and it's very surreal.
It's very cool. It's very cool, and it is surreal. It is pretty amazing that when I'm with the people that I love, the family that I raise and that I get to be a part of at the lead, when people are like, oh, they get excited about me, and it's like, you know, we go to a dinner. We've gone to a dinner, and we've had the waiter be like, hey, and I was like, oh my God, it was so uncomfortable.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Locally.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting.
It was amazing.
It was. But it caught me so off guard. Because of all places, I feel like in our little tiny area, I don't assume that anybody knows.
I know, and little do we know.
So many people probably
Everybody
do.
knows. Everybody knows.
I feel like a lot of people know what we do at this point, but aren't necessarily watching or paying attention or even know where to look to find you. So when that kind of thing happens in such a small, intimate setting, it is very shocking.
Shocking.
And yeah.
Yeah, it's shocking. It's shocking. And shout out to the local audience. I know there's people watching. Maybe not right now, but I know there's people that watch my videos every week or whenever I post that are from the community, man. And when I say community, I got the hiccups now. I'm from a town of less than 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like it's, you know, it's pretty surreal. My online presence is 100 times larger than my town. Hundreds of times larger than my town. So it's pretty crazy. But shout out to my local audience who do support me. If you're in the chat and you're listening to this right now, I want you to hit me. When we walk past each other at the grocery store, you'll hit me up. You'll be like, "Ow, I was there. I was there."
I would never, honestly, Lacey, I do too. And I would
What did
never
Lacey
judge.
ask?
She said, I would fangirl if I met FTS. Don't judge me. I
Oh.
do it every time that we see them. Because
I
it's
have
like,
wa-
hey, I watch you.
I've watched girls fangirl. I have watched men.
Oh, 100% I've
Fangirl.
watched men fangirl.
And let me tell you, no matter what happens, I want you to enjoy the experience and know that your uncomfortableness is going to make my uncomfortableness better.
Yep.
Because we're both going to be remarkably uncomfortable. And I don't mean it's the way it is. I have I have social anxiety like anybody else. I love to be the center of attention. I'll be the first to tell you, but I also suffer from social anxiety. It's being the center of attention is how I deal with my social anxiety, which is a very strange thing to say, but that's the reality. It's like, if I'm the center, I'm in control of everything. If I'm the center of attention, you're all eyes on me. So it's like, it's a very strange way to cope, but yeah. So needless to say, show it to my local audience. I appreciate you. I just segged this way to see who still hangs on till the very end for this giveaway. Let me just state that the only rules to the giveaway, other than the ones that were stated in the beginning in regards to hitting the follow button on the 2 sites, is you have to be present in the chat at the end of the stream. So we're going to run a giveaway. And when we randomly select a name, if they're not in the chat,
I repick.
we repick, okay?
I want you guys to know too, if you ever don't want me to say your actual name,
You don't have to put your actual name.
no.
So,
Put whatever
Mrs.
you
P,
want
you just put first name
and last initial.
and last initial, but you have to own up to it in the chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't have to put your first and last name.
If
okay?
you want to put your screen name,
Yeah,
which would
100%.
honestly probably be the easier
way
way to
easier,
go,
way easier.
that's completely fine too. I just, because I know some people
I know
don't
we're in
use their real
prohibited
names.
states, perhaps.
Yeah.
Allegedly. What's up, Quick? So,
And
so
I
yeah.
always laugh whenever we do this, and then people send me their actual names and mailing information, and I go, "Oh my god, I didn't know that was their name." And P laughs at me because he's like, "Well, what did you think?" I'm like, "I thought that their screen name was their real name."
Right?
So,
Nope.
you know.
So needless to say, I haven't followed the link. Enjoy the seeds. All right, Winging. I appreciate you being here, man. So, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Blazing Arizona, great to see you too. Good to see everybody that we saw at the DGC. Blazing Arizona, sending love. Winner number 1, Mrs. P, of our first 5-pack from Seedsman Genetics.
Winner number 1 is Brett S. Brett with 1 T.
Brett S.
Put it in
Brett
the chat.
S. You have to claim your prize. If your name is Brett S. and you want to claim, and we have the email, so we're gonna reach out to you. Okay, we're gonna reach out to you, and make sure if you claim it as not yours, you're not gonna get it because we have the email. All right, so it's my real name because I didn't know I could change it. Robert, that's fantastic.
No. I think he's saying on his.
Oh. Whoever it is, congratulations to Brett S. That's fair.
If Brett's here.
Congratulations to Brett S. We'll give you a few seconds. I know. YouTube is behind about 30 seconds.
Yes.
Despite the fact that I have it on the fastest it should be on, so I didn't realize that the interaction is always 30 seconds behind. How did we enter? Rules to enter were at the beginning, middle, and even at the end of stream. So you just had to be here for the stream to participate. So is it Robert? Just real quick. No, just to make sure.
No, I think she's making fun of you saying that.
Robert, that's fantastic. Yeah, is Brett here? Okay. Let's give it a couple more seconds because I don't want to have 2 people involved if someone's all of a sudden like so give it about another 30 seconds here. I got a bull here, we'll rip it. Yeah, they could be in ads too. That would be the worst case scenario.
What do you mean?
Like because YouTube throws ads up randomly throughout the stream.
Oh, yes.
So if they're in an ad for 90 seconds and I call their name and they get stuck, that would be the worst, and I don't want to do that. I'd make it right, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't want to worry about it. That's what I meant to say.
All right, last call for Brett S.
I'm just me. All right, Robert, good to know. Okay. Bro, I just got an AC Infinity ad.
That's funny.
Ads aren't. So I was just in an ad. So home. Okay, so Brett S is the winner. We'll give this 30 more seconds because someone just said they were in an ad. I've had like 5 ads so far. So somebody just said they were in an ad.
5 ads? Holy crap.
So 30 seconds. Brett S. Brett S, you are the wiener. One more time, I want to give a huge thank you to Jake from Romulan Genetics for coming on for the conversation. That was a great conversation, Mrs. P. I remember. I wanted to dive into more of his situation with him and his dad. So it's like, and his lifestyle, and oh my gosh, he had so many stories that I could have dived in for so much longer. But
it's also one of those like surreal moments when we're talking to people and they bring up things like who they've associated with over the years, or I felt that way when we talked to Todd McCormick and Danny Danko,
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, like I knew I grew up in a small bubble, but I know who all these people are that they're referring to. And,
I know.
and even with Jake tonight, like it's it's insane to me.
Yeah, Todd throwing out something like hanging out with Hugh Hefner,
Right?
He opened up for Woodstock.
Yeah.
Todd McCormick opened up for Woodstock, and to think Pigeons 420 has sat down and had a conversation. Todd is someone I consider a friend. That is unbelievable. I can't believe it. I am that's the power of the internet, ladies and gentlemen. So, Brett S is not here. Okay. Let's go ahead and pick another one.
Okay.
Here we go.
The next person.
Yep. We think that's fair, chat. Let me know. What do you think? Nope. I think we gave him ample time. Let's go.
Robert S.
No way. Is that the one that... Oh. Robert S. Robert B. Oh, I was like, there's no way. That would be hilarious. Hilarious, but amazing. Because you've been here the whole damn time.
I have a Robert S.
Robert S. Brett S is shit out of luck. Yeah. There's no other way to put it. Yeah, you're right. Only one Robert here. Yeah, Robert S. Okay, I'm going to give a little less time this time because I know the ads just happened, if that's a thing. So, Robert S. Come on. Somebody, for the love of God.
I will just keep pulling names.
Well, we will. Yeah, we will until Skittles and East Coast get it. You keep pulling wrong names. It's quick. Yeah, quick, right? He probably just got excited. Robert S. Okay, I'm going to give 30 more seconds. Give or take. I thought it was Robert Baird too, right, Jester? Right? Nope, I'm Rob B. Damn, so close, dude. So close. Okay, come on. Okay, so I'm going to go with another 20 seconds. It was a long 10 seconds. But I'm like, there's a lot of people active right now.
I know. And there's so many entries.
Really?
Honestly, guys, as I want to acknowledge the fact this is our biggest giveaway that we have ever done.
Oh,
We had the most entries
that's sweet.
that we have ever seen by far.
Oh, really?
Last week's was the biggest to date that
Did
we
we-
had ever had.
Did
So
we give away cameras? Oh,
props to you guys for
fuck yeah,
being
guys.
here.
Thank you, guys.
For,
Thanks.
for participating.
Yeah.
I'm here, pick me.
Okay. No, let's
right.
Robert S. Sorry, dude. I tried, dude, and I don't feel bad. To be honest, once it goes, I'm not gonna feel I can't. I don't feel bad if you missed out. The specific point of my giveaways is to reward the people that are active in the community and in the flock in the chat. This is the point of the giveaway. So I really just don't know how to make it more clear. So majority rules around here. So if the flock is in, we're in. Let's change it up. Let's pull another one. What do you guys think? Richard H. I missed. Oh, send 5. Reg, come on, dude. Thank you, bro. 5 gifted memberships to the flock. That is very kind and very sweet. Thank you so much. Very sweet. Nug Shrub gets one. Golden Mayhem gets one. Rickert gets one. Ty gets one. John, get John. Let's go. You got a good group there too, man. And LJ Jones gifted 5 before while I was in the middle of something deep. I half recognized it, but I didn't give it the full recognition. LJ Jones and Reg, the hardest guy to at in the chat. Thank you very much for the gifted subs, man. That's incredibly kind and just unnecessary. Thank you. If the wife finds out, thank you. Let me know and I'll send her a free pair of sunglasses. Okay. What was the second one, Mrs. P?
Robert S.
Robert S is missing his chance here. So Flock, we're pulling another name.
Bueller. Okay, next one is Christian.
No
last name.
Christian with no last name. This is crazy. I'm just gonna pick. They would be so biased. I just pick people.
You can't do
because
that.
I would. I just pick the people I see the most.
That's the reason we do these the way we do them.
Oh, that's funny. Shout out to Mrs. P. We're getting a new bathroom downstairs. It's a mini. We're gonna call it a mini renovation because we've kind of like low key gutted it already over the years. We gutted it
like so many years ago, and we just never got back to putting it.
Now
together.
we just get to put stuff back in it. So it's like
yes.
And we have the vanity, we have the toilet.
We have the shower now.
We bought a shower, a very affordable shower, which is fantastic. Christian, where are you, man? Christian B. Is that what it is? No, Nug shop? Nope. No Hebrew. You can call me whatever you want. Christian. Just fuck it.
I think that's me, maybe Nug Shrub.
Nug Shrug.
Okay.
Well, then all you got to do is verify
if you,
the first part of the email address.
No.
No, what are you thinking?
Go
ahead.
What's the number in the email address?
What's the number in the email address? Because we don't want to dox anybody.
No.
So what's the the number in the email address? Ms. P, can you give me another beer? I didn't think this was going to take this long.
Looks like you're out.
I'm not. Shrug says 91.
That's it.
Oh, we gave one away. That's it. Let's go, baby. Yo, Nug, congratulations, my guy. Congratulations. Did you just get a gifted membership too? You did too. Nug gets a gifted membership from Reg. Huge shout out to Reg. Thank you, brother. And then takes home the 5-pack from Seedsman. Huge shout out to Seedsman. Sorry, my undershirt's showing, guys. This shirt's got a really loose neck. Yo, thank you very much, Nug, for being here. Damn, double score tonight. You got it, dude. Hey, I'm glad that we can reward those that are here, dude. I'm seriously. Thank you, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Congratulations to Nug Shrug. Congratulations. You got a 5-pack. We're going to be in touch with you, dude. We'll be in touch, okay? We'll get you set straight.
Yeah. I will email the winners either after the show or tomorrow morning with all the details that I need, and then we'll get you guys hooked up.
Yep. And you won't pay a thing. Let me just be very clear. The only reason I have to stress this is because I've had people personally accuse me of scamming them because I was sorry. Let me rephrase. Because somebody reached out and said, "Hey, if you send me $300, I'll send you a light or something." They had this. Got the screenshots and all this, and of course, it's from an account that has my name with a period after it. And you know, I want to say I don't blame the people that fall for this, but at the same time, I cannot count how many times I've been so vocal about the fact that I will not charge for anything, and I won't reach out to anybody randomly and say, "Hey." So, okay, I just want to make that very clear because that hurts me, man. $300 is a lot of money. I don't care how much it is. $100, $50, that's a lot of money, especially if it's your family's money. So I don't want that to happen to anybody else ever again. So I'm sorry that I just dwell on that sometimes too much. Okay, Mrs. P, we got the first one taken care of. Congratulations, Nug Shrug.
All right, and our fourth winner?
Our second winner.
Our second pack goes to Aaron K.
Aaron K. Thankfully, everybody used their real name, so we'll never really know who's who. Congratulations. Speaking of, did you got a hold of both of the people from last time? Yes,
I did. Yes.
Congratulations to both the winners the last time, taking home the cameras from Vivo Sun.
Yes.
Shout out to Vivo Sun, being a sponsor of the show. If you're checking out anything from Vivo Sun, vivosun.com. Use promo code Pigeons420. The flock's gone green, and Vivo's join the team, baby. So if you guys would like to get anything from them, Pigeons420 will save you 15% off the website, plus more. I'm sure there's other things going on as well, so make sure you check that out. I keep forgetting to stress the 15% part,
Yes.
which is the highest almost I've ever had, promo code I've ever had. So huge shout to Vivo Sun, man. Huge shout to Vivo Sun. Actually, in fairness, real quick, while we're waiting for Aaron K. Oh, Curly Green's like at Aaron Costin right there, baby. Do we see it?
What are we doing?
I don't know. I saw an ad. No, I'm just going to show what I got here real quick. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Lacey really wants to see your shoes, by the way.
Oh. Okay.
She's only asked
200 times?
648,584,663 times.
Well, as you can see, I run a green screen, and Vivo Sun does not work well on the green screen. Anything that's black is in fact green. This is an entire 2x2 tent setup by Vivo Sun.
I can't see your face.
I've got the fan over here. There we go. Yeah, that's
Do you
good.
want this shot?
Yeah, sure. I've got the fan over here. Let me bring this in. Give me a little bit of something. I've got the fan over here. Okay, clip on, baby. You know, they got me. Control this entire 2x2 tent with the Vivo Sun Grow Hub. Okay, that's going to be going over there in the side right there. This is going to be illuminated by the Vivo Sun. Which one is this one?
On the side.
Is it? The Aero Light. This one's the Aero Light, so it's perfect for a 2x2. I think it's going to be great for the setup. No green screen on this camera.
Nope.
Hey. And then that's all going inside the Vivo Sun.
Here, I'll just put it on the other.
Oh, yeah, perfect. I don't have most room around here, but the Vivo Sun 2x2. Ants go marching 2x2. Hurrah! Oh, my God. Yeah. There it is, with enough green shade that you can't. In fact, don't use a green screen, and everybody is on my TV. Okay, so there it is. So I've got the Grow Pro Tent 2x2 right there, and I'm stoked to get this growing. So, oh, baby. Shout out to Vivo Sun for hooking me up. And they'll hook you up too. I'm not kidding. Vivosun.com, promo code Pigeons420, guys. If you didn't know, I actually post grow videos, and I do grow weed, despite what the internet will tell you. Mrs. P will share with you real quick the grow channel that I have, where I posted a video of my FTS collaboration with Swank, and it was a beautiful, beautiful harvest that went extraordinarily wrong halfway through. So you're going to want to watch that. I'm a little bit. Oh, yeah. So I like your shoes. I like the tent setup a whole lot more. I like the shoes, but I like the tent setup a whole lot more. That's fair. Okay. So my shoes, Lacey, are these are, I quite frankly, I don't really care what they are. This is green. Go ahead, Mrs. P. Actually, you know what I was going to say. These are green. There you go. You can now see them. This is the actual color of them. These are the Freaks, the Nike. Honestly, I don't buy Nike based on the specific shoe. I buy Nike, only Nike shoes, but which is a shame. But anyways, only on their looks. I used to buy shoes, and I'll still buy shoes that don't fit if the size I want isn't available, but the shoe is. So shout out to those that unfortunately, beauty is pain. Okay. So what did we have?
Aaron K.
No one
Still-
coming up? All right, run it again.
Okay. Orion.
Orion. Orion. And thank you guys for noticing my shoes. I appreciate you. It's a guilty pleasure of mine are my shoes. I know that a lot of people have a shoe thing. I don't know. Mrs. P, do I have a shoe thing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I was trying to get an honest answer. Okay.
The fact that there is no square inch of this house that doesn't have a pair of your shoes somewhere.
Okay.
And every time that I say, okay, you got 3 new pairs, let's get rid of an old pair that you haven't worn in 10 years, and you can't even do that, you have a shoe problem.
Come on. Why would anyone just get rid of good shoes?
Because you don't wear them anymore.
But that doesn't mean they're not good.
But you don't wear them. And you could give them away to someone who would wear them.
Fucking women, huh? Come on. Come on. You're not serious.
I feel like
You're just joking.
This isn't a new
You're
thing.
just joking because we're live.
No.
All this drastic talk. Come on. It's for clicks.
The fact that you buy new shoes every time you do an FTS trip, we now have an abundance of shoes.
So? I don't know where she's going with this, friends. I didn't think we were going there. I was hoping, when I said, do I really have a shoe problem? You know what I was thinking? You were going to be like, you know what? It's not,
I mean, you could have worse problems.
It's not that bad.
You could have worse problems.
All right,
I get that.
Okay. No, of course I could have worse problems. Yeah, we can all have worse problems. All right. She dry snitching on me, Nug.
17 years, Nug.
17 years. She knows me better than anybody else, despite the amount of hours we've spent together.
How many? I have one purse. I have one purse. 2 now, actually, because I had to buy a new one for an event that we're going to because they require clear purses. So now I have 2 purses.
Come on, boy. She doesn't need another purse. What does she need a purse for?
And I have maybe
You gonna take all your money out and put it in a... Come on.
I literally have maybe 2, 3 pairs of shoes that I wear. So I don't have a problem.
Show them your nails.
Your nails go. You know what? I don't have my nails done right now. I quit getting my nails done for the summer because I wanted to take a break, and it's really hard. Really hard, Brina.
Did Brina say, show me your nails?
She's like, your nails gotta match his shoes, Mrs. P.
And most times they do. Okay, I got a shoe thing. She got a nail thing. It's fine.
Okay, I'll say I have a nail thing. I spend just as much on my nails as you do on your shoes. Easily. But I took a break.
I don't get new shoes every month.
But I took a break.
She took a break.
I took a break.
And I took a break.
Their purse event sounds dangerous, or school. Apparently, it's just a thing when you go into certain venues now.
For the record, Mrs. P and I were.
What are we doing on this?
We come from poverty. Okay, it's married we've been married 10 years, together 17, in poverty for 13, 14. Not necessarily the whole thing, but definitely a solid amount of it. And I've been homeless. So the fact that we have access to a little bit of exposable funds, there's still a little bit of hood in us.
A little bit. And
it's despite my best judgment. Okay? But at the end of the day, I'm going to be like, you know what? We had fun. So Noah Ryan, Brina. Noah Ryan? This is crazy. This is why I run these events. Noah Ryan? Your honor. I'll give Mrs. P whatever she wants. Whenever she wants. Noah Ryan, eh?
All right.
Let's run another one.
Move on to the next one.
Yep.
There's a name I know.
Uh-oh.
El Chapo.
No way.
Are you in the house still?
Chapo, he's gone to bed.
Probably.
This guy. I don't even care. Is it Chapo?
It is.
He's gonna win it. He doesn't have to be in the chat. That's how it
You
goes.
can't just make up your. No, he's right there.
Yes, thank God.
He's right there. You can't just make up your own rules.
I'm going
hon.
to. This is the point.
You can't make up.
I
your
didn't
own
pick.
rules.
Hey, I didn't pick the name. I
picked.
I was
the
gonna
name.
say it doesn't matter. If you're a part of this community, you're getting rewarded. All right, you have to be in the chat.
I only had to pick
unless you're a real one.
6
Okay,
names.
I forgot to add that part. Unless you're a real one. Okay, I forgot that part. Chapo, hell yeah, brother. Fucking A, dude. Chapo's like one of my very first subscribers on YouTube, and one of my very first viewers on Twitch. He's been along for the long haul. Been around forever. Chapo is a well-known name in my house,
Yep.
and not for anything notorious. It's all for greatness and love. And Chapo, I love you, brother. And it's literally the nights that you and I spent together alone that allowed me to get to where I am today. Okay, I'm leaving it at that. Yeah. Okay. Chapo, MVP. You named it. Shout out to Chapo, and a huge shout out to Nug Shrug. Appreciate you guys for participating in the giveaway, and of course, I appreciate everybody that participated in the giveaway. Let it be known for those that are around and wanted to win something. I'm going to be incorporating more giveaways into these live streams, but I'm going to be incorporating more giveaways into my Twitch live streams and my Patreon. Okay, so there'll be Patreon exclusive giveaways, there'll be Twitch exclusive giveaways, and then there'll be still these ones as well. The sponsors that we have are fucking amazing, and they constantly are like, yeah, we would love to be a part of a giveaway. But the only reason I don't do it is because either A, I just forget and to line things up, and it's just one of those things that I'm just not in the habit of doing. But I'm going to change that. So, again, this is for the community, though, man. This is for my. Let me be very specific. This is for the flock. Okay, this is for the flock, and so I got no problem seeing good things go to good people. So thank you guys for supporting me. That's what it's all about. Mrs. P, I think we've pretty much wrapped it up. Keep it up, P. Your channel's doing great. Thanks, Zug. Thank you, guys. I couldn't ask for a better release on my last grow video. I had to upload it a ton of times in order to avoid an age restriction. If it got age restricted, it never would have made it to your feed. You never would have saw it. But I can almost guarantee 90% of everybody who's here right now watched that video. And because of you guys, that video is number 1. And in fact, is the best grow video involving plants, involving old school Pigeons 420, the best grow video I have ever released. And I mean that not only in production, because it was produced incredibly well, shout out to Matt, our editor, but it was the best in terms of the best reception, the most views, the most interaction, and it's because of you guys. It's on my grow channel with 2,000 subscribers. So it's like the fact that it did well is because of you guys. Yes, YouTube put it in front of you, but you didn't have to click on it. You didn't have to watch it, but you did. And not only that, you threw a thumb and a comment. I'm looking at you, John. I'm looking at you, Kurt. I'm looking at you, Chabo. Okay? East Coast. I'm looking at you. Double A, I'm looking at you. Idiom, I'm looking at you. Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys, man. Appreciate your face, dude. Okay. Before I get all sentimental and it takes another 30 minutes to get out of here. This was a wicked show. Mrs. P doing the best she's ever done. Thank you. Good show tonight, Mrs. P. Cheers to that.
Yes. Cheers to that.
I'll see you guys live tomorrow night on Twitch, all right? We'll be gaming. Maybe a little Tarkov Thursdays. Okay, a little Tarkov Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
Tarkov Friday. Really? Today's Thursday already? I'm all messed up. I'm all messed up. Yeah.
Live streams on Thursdays.
But we got a concert this weekend. Miss Pierre and I are going to a concert this weekend.
We do. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. It's 2000s music's vibe.
I'm so excited.
Bubba Sparks will be there. Genuine.
Busta
Rhymes.
Yeah.
Dude, it's going to be epic. I can't wait.
Timbaland.
Timbaland's going to be there.
Oh, I'm so stoked.
Hey. Huge shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for the gifted subs. I appreciate it, Reg, and I appreciate it, LJ. Thank you guys for the gifted, memberships. Memberships get access to content before anybody else. Memberships get access to membership-only live streams. That's coming more intently very soon. And members also get access to recognition in the chat. They're all the green friends. Real quick, a huge shout out to all my patrons, guys. If you head on over to patreon.com/pigeons420, there's a ton of perks there where you could probably utilize. Everybody you see at the bottom of the screen is part of the inner circle. They're sponsoring $10 and above, and I appreciate their face. They have access to a ton of great benefits, and you can to patreon.com/pigeons420. In fact, the new session of grow classes is going to be taking place very soon. So if that's something you want to get in touch with me with, reach out, and I'll let you know dates and when I plan to get that going. So thank you guys so much for being here, man. Automatic, I see you. Lacey, thank you, girl. I appreciate you. Same with you, Brina. Shout out to all the girls in the chat tonight. I appreciate you. Tasty, thanks to all the boys in the chat. Reg, thanks for those gifts, dude. John, appreciate your love, dude. Settled Limbs, thank you, man. Manny, appreciate you, dude. It's been a great journey. Roger, Sean, Trent, Automatic, Robert. Thank you guys, man. Thank you for the love. Double A, you have a great one, dude. Kenna Kev, peace, homie. Cheers, friends. See you, Jester. See you, Kurt. See you, Blazing Arizona. Thanks for making it the whole time, dude. I appreciate you. It was a pleasure meeting you, man. Kaya, take it easy. You have a great evening, too. Thank you. Mad Hatter. Yeah, it's in Winnipeg, dude. Yep. Justin, take it easy, man. Show me Hydra. I see your face, dude. Good to see you, man. And have a great night. East Coast, take it easy, dude. All right. Brina, cheers, girl. Trent, I'm out. Golden Mayhem, take it easy, friends. My Stoner Life, peace, homies. That's all I got. Have a great night. We'll see you here in the same place next week, Thursday. But until then, I'll see you on Twitch. Peace.
Diamonds on earth, and I will take you traveling the world. I'm gonna love you, babe. Cross my